is recording or not?
Oh,
tight. Okay. So, when last we left, the roses are red. They had just tied up some of the loose ends of the Lund-Senton War. Godric, Bort, Yanni, and Uhtred were out in the field cleaning up stragglers, while Dakuta and Largo went to Pentarose and tried to offload some magic items, pick up some new gear, and plan a birthday party. And Mirok was heavily involved in erecting a monument to the dead. So here we are. The current date is the 6th of Delmal. So there's only 55 days left in the year. And that will be 1 year that you all have been together.
In game time?
Again.
The roses already existed for a year.
Well, 55 days short of it. So
Oh wow.
and you have some things out in front of you. Some sort of diplomatic interaction with Lund needs to take place, and there is still the unanswered question of this black dragon, what she's all about, and whether or not she's going to continue to be a danger.
Awesome.
So, who's got plans?
We got plenty of
Me and Dakuta were talking about, if possible, thank you, going back in time a little bit and asking, teleporting around to ask A1 and Gideon to look at the armor and the sword.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say we're not gonna, like, you guys realize that maybe you want to do that now, so you're gonna do that now.
Okay. And can you describe Largo's birthday party just a little bit?
I mean, I kind of get the impression that that Mirok's side of the birthday party. Did you have two separate ones, or did you have one?
I did not throw a party for Mirok because I knew he didn't want one. I just gave him that very special gift.
Okay.
Then I went into a stone box and I cried.
The reason I didn't hear much about it is because we got so wasted, nobody remembers what happened.
Yeah. I'm assuming actually that Largo had a great time, but other people just pretended to have a great time because we are still in the middle of kind of like a previous party zone. Yeah.
It's
questionable. I mean, it was a great decompression for some of the soldiers.
Okay.
And knowing Largo, I would assume that a lot of this was opened up to the general populace.
Oh, absolutely.
Where a good number of the soldiers have already had returned to Kyla, returned to Senton. What's left are actual career soldiers, not the militia, because there is this knowledge that they're going to have to have a significant force head towards Lund for this diplomatic envoy at some point. And some of the nobles were a little annoyed that they'd have to share tables with the peasantry for this event, but and a lot of the peasantry enjoyed the fact that they were hobnobbing with the people at the top.
Yeah, as Largo would want it.
They're adding in the peasantry. The alcohol went really, really fast.
Yeah.
However, I'm fairly certain that Mirok solved that problem.
Yeah.
I solved it.
Cheers to wine.
And then
How many times did
and then Largo's singing actually got better the drunker he got.
Yeah. I do have perform sing.
Um,
Plus 11.
Yeah, I think I could make at least six half-barrel kegs of booze during that night.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm basically a Pico brewery walking around.
So, with that, peasantry, we're having a great time. The nobles kind of kept to themselves. Some of them loosened up, but some of them maintained a sort of distance. Jenkins got absolutely hammered.
Okay.
Good for him, dude. He needed that.
Yeah.
Jenkins got wasted. There was, Squire and some attendants and stuff who were just like babysitting him for most of the party.
Largo toasted him very publicly in front of everybody.
And he was a pretty good drunk. Till a certain point, and then he started getting a little, sad about all the people who died and how it was his fault and he could have done more. And then they very quickly ushered him back to his command tent, and as far as you could tell, he cried himself out and passed sleep.
Understand.
But yeah, it was very well done as far as oh man, just all the people, and they were immediately, oh, we're yeah.
And we're going to.
Piles of corpses. Did we get Mark fucking LaFlette? Did he show?
No, because it's a week and a half travel.
To an active war zone.
That's all right. He's gonna open.
But I've heard he might be here.
He probably changed.
Largo doesn't get
Or made
get
a,
too bogged down by that. He's a little bummed that Mark didn't make it. That's all right.
he might have made
I'm
a,
a little curious if at some point in time, Largo just created a major illusion of Mark LaFlette.
He's here.
No.
I know he's got a little too much integrity for that.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that. He was just he said might come. That Mark LaFlette's been invited. 90% of the people he told that to do not know who Mark LaFlette is.
No.
Yeah, there was one member of Godric's cavalry who was like, oh, really? That was it.
Well, cool. Thank you for expounding upon that. It sounds like a great time. We can all agree it sounds like a great time.
Mm-hmm. You had a fun party.
Yeah.
You're the birthday boy.
We can all agree.
Okay.
So, yes.
Okay. No. So.
So back to 7 days later, or 8 days later, on the 6th of Delmal. You guys are all kind of powwowing over what your next course of action is. Maybe having a little bit of a every once in a while, someone turns to Uhtred and says, "Are you sure it was Fooey?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of this sort of, slow, thoughtful roundtable discussion you guys are having.
Well,
Diplomatic emissary to Lund.
would carry a lot more weight if we brought the head of a black dragon.
True. As a half orc, and can I use the title Khan of a minor band of
Khan would be for a clan. You have a tribe.
chief?
You technically have a tribe.
Uh-huh.
You would be a chief.
I have a language partner. As chief of Orcish tribe, I'd like to offer my services as ambassador. From Seton to Lund. From the as an emissary of our liege lord, the king.
Okay.
I think I'm uniquely qualified to be a state ambassador. Maybe we run this by Jenkins. I'd like to get a title, maybe some new clothing. And I'm prepared to, play the part using my newfound charisma.
Okay.
Yanni would like to serve as an escort if Chieftain Bort is, we'll have him.
Ambassador board.
Yanni, go ahead and give me a knowledge and ability check.
Under secretary.
Knowledge and ability. One sec. Ooh, nice. 18 on the die. 28.
Okay. So, you're not super familiar with London in particular, but orcs are not entirely sequestered to this area of the nation. You have dealt with orc bands up in the Red Sands Desert, and that by and large, orcs tend to see half orcs as lesser. And while from time to time, an especially competent, capable, or dangerous half orc has taken command of an orc tribe, the general consensus of orcs is that a half orc is a baby, is a child in comparison to a real orc. So it's not out of the question that Bort might have some power here. Or he has the technical standing to do something, but he might not be sitting in the best position to have diplomatic oomph. Just
Right, so sending.
this is more of a tempering the expectations as opposed to saying no, it's not going to work, kind of thing.
Okay.
Now, the fact that
So,
orc is
I
a
mean,
literal murder machine is definitely a huge mark in his favor.
okay, so I guess with that, maybe definitely Bort should go, but should Bort be the face and ambassador? Maybe not so much.
Well, who else is it going to be? I'm not looking to seize power here. I'm not looking for, we've waited this amount of time to let the oil and water kind of reach separation about who's on top in one, which war boss, which Khan is sort of seizing power and who's getting minimized. Not trying to seize power, trying to be a diplomatic emissary, trying to be an ambassador.
Yeah, the rest of us are pinkies. So Ford might be a baby, but he's more cachet than us.
Not a great option. Maybe the only option.
And I look around, at this, listening deeply to what you just said, and looking around at some of the fine silks that I have brought in from Mark for my party, and still kind of with an ego high about my standing with Mark LaFlette, I offer to personally craft new garments for you.
Well, I accept.
With an untrained craft skill. So over the next maybe couple of days, if we have that amount of time, I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, through the black chimney?
Through the black chimney.
All right,
So that would be a 31 craft
31 credits.
to try to put together some
Fabulous.
expensive looking fabulous garments for my work friend.
And you're making these out of what exactly?
Out of all the banners and streamers and silk accoutrement that I got from the leftovers from the party.
He's got a pinata hat.
He's got that.
So, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the pictures of some of the Native Americans who would dress up to meet heads of state and would wear a potpourri of different styles of what was considered high fashion or ceremonial, like turbans with scarves and the poofy pants and a tailed jacket. It was just, and that's pretty much kind of what you're putting together.
Yeah.
A bunch of things that are technically formal wear, but none of it works with any of the rest of it.
Okay.
And it is all different colors. It's all very, but it's extremely ostentatious.
Looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bort's tribe thinks it looks pretty cool, or Bort's tribe thinks it looks pretty cool.
Okay.
Sweet.
Daryl's on board.
I've also,
You
What is-
look fancy.
thank you. I've also, Gerald, I know that you've sort of been,
That's not
I know, what is your name?
Garrow.
Gerard. So Gerard, I've been thinking as my tribe member, and my language partner. You're uniquely qualified to be at a high position in this diplomatship that I'm working on here. And I thought it's sort of a vizier, kind of a right-hand man in my tribe. And I've thought of the name Daryl for this position. So now, Gerard, you are, elevated to the position of my Daryl. It's a title that I bestow upon you now, and I give you this small piece of silk that Largo has handed me as a token of your Darylship to me. So you are no longer a Daryl, you are my Daryl, Gerard. Thank you for your service.
Daryl Gerard.
Daryl Gerard. He's grand, yeah, Daryl Gerard.
He like does a bow and then a chest thump, and he says, "You are my bae." I just looked that up. That bae is the Mongolian term for chieftain.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
B-E-Y.
Thank you, Daryl. My Daryl. Fetch me my Daryl! I desire to converse in Orcish.
Daryl. This is my high Daryl.
Daryl.
So I just had a thought, Largo. Let me know if you can't do this, but what if you had the party masquerade as orcs of Bort's tribe? So maybe gain him a little bit more favor with.
Like an illusion, like major illusion.
That would be kind of insensitive, don't you think?
Well, so that is actually the thought that I had. My concern with that is I would need to discuss with newly appointed Daryl Gerard about how that would sit with him, because we'd essentially be masquerading as his dead friends.
We'd have to fool him. I don't think my Daryl can keep the cat in the bag.
Yeah.
I think Gerard's gonna spill the beans. And so we'd have to fool him. We'd have to be like, oh, we found some more Clan Render. Like, we'll go out into the swamps, kill this fucking dragon, and Clan Render will just appear after, in the hullabaloo. And then how long can we maintain the illusion for?
Okay, so here's something. Garrog has never spoken in common. He only knows Orcish.
Yeah, as do I.
Okay. But not all of you do.
That's true. That's true. I could speak in Orcish and be your sub Daryl.
I can understand Orcish.
I think most of you can speak Orcish, but not all of you can.
I am not.
You speak Orcish with a very heavy accent.
Yeah.
You can be my Gomer.
Yeah, I can be your Gomer, which is like a sub Daryl.
Yeah.
Like a Lieutenant Daryl.
Lieutenant Daryl.
I really like that. Like, our priority is a black dragon right now. So how do we fool Daryl? We've drilled that stuff.
So now, Largo does, very humbly, but he's not modest about his humbleness in this moment. He does say that his talent does not lend itself particularly wonderfully to disguise. He can make it happen, but he prefers to create things that are not there rather than alter things that are. There is always the possibility of things kind of going a little bit awry. And he has a concern that if he were to just major image the group of us, someone walks outside of the spell radius, like he creates things that are not there.
There is a spell called Veil that is specifically
Yeah.
disguise a group of people, and so trying to do that with another spell is going to be
I don't see that we need to all
Yeah,
be orcs.
janky at best.
It wasn't a bunch of orcs that killed the up and running.
So you're saying like we could like major image orcs around us if we need to.
That I can do all day, but disguising us as orcs is not something that is my forte.
I think that makes sense.
Well, this is also whatever you do is not something you have to do once.
Yeah.
This is establishing Bort's position in that noble hierarchy. And if he shows up with a tribe of orc that will disappear the moment Largo takes a nap. They're gonna wonder where your tribe is.
It's true.
So maybe we don't do that. But also, we gotta kill this dragon. Don't we have to kill this dragon before we go to London?
I think it's a good idea.
Well, I guess we could show up with 2 dragon heads to the negotiations. 2 is better than 1, right?
Yeah, we have the Ebon Rune's head, and we have the dragon's head, and we go there and we say, oh, this lady you thought was in charge, she isn't in charge.
Is it enough that they think she was in charge, though?
Yeah.
Do we have the Ebon Rune's head? These may be 2 separate missions. Killing the dragon to satisfy our obligation to the king and to Seton, to the security, you know, the sort of the extension of the contract or the renegotiated contract. I think that's one thing. Is that beneficial in the diplomatic
How
mission?
about if we talk with them ahead of time, show an Ebon Rune head, say, we killed your boss, and as a show of faith, we're going to help you by ridding your swamp of this dragon who may be a problem. Do you guys have any ideas where she might be hiding?
So as a point of fact, you guys gave the head to Brick,
Yeah, the head.
and one of the horns has already been removed.
Yeah,
True.
And knowing Brick, you're pretty sure that it's a skull now.
Just
And-
drinking a fruit smoothie.
Let's go kill this dragon.
So like as far as the Ebon Ruins head goes, it's at most unrecognizable.
Yeah.
But they probably know that it was the mercenary band known as Roses Are Red who killed the Ebon Ruin. That's probably made its way around the city. I know we briefly mentioned last week, and I forget if we had a conclusion about it, but is it possible to make Bort the leader of Lund and then have Bort be like, onward to battle, and take the whole fucking city to go slay this dragon?
Well, I think we're still running against like the timeline issue, right? Because it's been a week post battle now,
Right.
and we're trying to wait like a month.
Yeah. Well, that's Jenkins is assuming that there's going to be some upheaval and strife going on in London before things calm down enough.
Yeah, let them battle it out.
Any sort of diplomatic effort could be successful.
We got some things we can do.
And
So sounds like we should just go kill a dragon.
I think you're right, yeah. Because orcs respect strength, so if we lead into a dragon, dragon's gonna be like, oh, now you're with me. You know?
Possibility for sure.
So I think we go to the swamps, we address the dragon, and I think it's a separate thing for the moment.
Also, you're fairly certain that if you guys fought a dragon, most of you would be able to survive an attack. If you led a couple hundred orcs are going to die every time the dragon attacks.
Yeah.
One line of that dragon's acid breath is probably going to wipe out 30 or 40 orcs at a time.
I guess I wouldn't like that.
I was gonna say, oh, bummer.
Also not going to win you any favors.
No, that's true. To just like join our war of attrition.
Yeah.
You're.
Do you want to do Bay of Pigs with us? Come do Bay of Pigs with us.
Okay. Does anybody have the vicar's number, or can we like get him on the horn?
We can communicate with him. Yes.
Vicar should almost be back to Penrose by now.
We can send to him.
He
we
and
can-
Gideon left,
Do you guys want to talk to Aorn? We were talking about taking the dragon stuff to Aorn.
Good
Gideon
morning, Gideon.
might
And
want to
Gideon, yeah.
1-900 Gideon over here to this swamp.
Yeah. Well, let's teleport and go. I would like to be there for both of those talks, but I'm down. I mean, we
I
could
can
all
take up to
go.
3 people.
I owe the vicar money, but you guys don't know that.
Sorry, brother.
I plan on, making that. I've stated mission objective, hands down. Getting right with the local constabulary is a priority for Board Black Market business. So I would like to be there to, slip them a fiver. Just make good on our contract. But I'm not telling any of you this. I'm telling you, yes, as the diplomatic emissary for one, I think I should be there to discuss politics with the vicar. My Daryl will stand in my place here at camp. You love this.
You can tell.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Well, who else wants to come?
I think Yanni would recommend that maybe Godric and Uhtred would stay with him on the camp, just make sure nothing happened, and then
That leaves
you
one.
like could go do your thing.
Are you guys still doing cleanup?
If there's any to be done, then yeah.
Okay.
Now, from a metagaming perspective, that leaves both of you, who are the only ones who are zooming into this, that leaves you guys out of the following roleplay.
I forgot they were here.
Yanni.
Thanks.
We are talking tactics with the,
Fictitious.
the
That's fair too. I guess it's it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other, right? Should he be on the front lines doing stuff? I don't know.
I think it would make sense for Yanni to come.
And
Yeah, it's
is
fair.
that not Healy Boy? Healy Boy stays and treats the wounded.
If I got stuff to do at the camp, I would stay and do it at the camp. If I don't,
I would probably want to go to A1, possibly by myself. But
Okay.
Gideon.
Okay, cool. Well, let's go see Gideon and the vicar.
Mm-hmm.
1-800-vicar.
Okay. Like I said, they are probably almost back to Lund.
Or to, yeah, address.
It took, they are traveling that distance, which takes you guys in a group of 8 about a week to do. Actually, and then it's like 2 or 3 days from the campsite to Senton, and then it's another week from Senton up to Pentrose. They're moving with an army. It's taking them almost 2 weeks to get back to Penrose.
So yeah, maybe we can't
So
do that.
they are somewhere on the road, but they are not there yet.
Okay, so we can't. So if you just want to go see Alorn and ask him what he thinks of the stuff, we can hang out at camp.
We could do that when we think they're back. I could probably.
Do you need to touch base with the Falcon people?
No, they're gonna go handle what they're gonna handle, and they're gonna find me. And that'll probably be, from what I understood, that timeline is they're gonna be back before we're at least before we're able to go to Lund. So if they miss out on the dragons, that's probably actually ideal. I did buy a bunch of healing potions, however, to train them with. I'm going to hurl fire at them and make them dodge it. And when they get hurt, I'm going to give them a Cure Light Wounds potion. And my goal is to montage train them up so that they're a little bit more powerful.
All right. So first thing that's happening is Dakuta is going to see Alorn.
Yeah, I would probably do sending first to ask him when would be a good time to visit him. I need to talk with him and show him some things.
Okay.
I'm a big boy now.
and then there was another war.
All right, make a diplomacy check.
16.
I always said the dasher in the message.
You get a sending message back. It says, "I am not currently in Solomon. Wait for a moment." And then you get what you recognize as a separate sending spell. I wanted a response. If it is of exceptional importance, I could come back to Solomon tomorrow at, say, around mid-afternoon. what do you want to show me?
My pee-pee. No. Sorry, these guys.
Locker room talk.
A beam of green light comes out of the sky and Dakota turns into Ash.
Oh, Dick.
I say we defeated Evan Ruin. A black dragon showed up. I have gear from the Evan Ruin, which I believe was made of this black dragon.
Pretty important.
Give me another diplomacy check.
8.
Total?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a.
That was with a +1 on it.
I still have my acorns of Ent. I'm going to use that during the. I have 2 acorns that summon Ents.
Okay.
When I talk to the Ent.
When did we talk to him?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, my speech was amazing.
They didn't help us. What do you got to?
He sends one more sending and says, tomorrow afternoon, I won't have a lot of time. Wait at my cottage. What are you guys pointing at?
I don't know.
He just said Ent, and the light on the bookcase looks like Treebeard. Right here, dude, in next to the window. Look at that. Do you see the Treebeard face?
Oh, yeah, I do see it now. Yeah.
Dude,
I see
the
that.
power of suggestion. Sorry, I'm back. ADHD.
Got like
Eyes,
Oh,
nose, beard.
Yeah.
It's fucking Treebeard. You just said Ent. You spoke into it.
Can you guys take a
Is
picture
this
or
good
something?
content?
Take a picture of it. Come on, you're killing me. I gotta know. Put it in the group chat. Let me see this thing.
These fucking level nerds over here.
I've never heard of it. I'm sorry.
You can't just say there's Treebeard and then
So-
not show me.
It's true.
You're going to be so disappointed.
You are.
Yeah.
You're gonna be hella stoked.
I mean, this looks just.
All right, so Dakota, you go to Solomon the following day.
Mhm.
I'm gonna just assume that you make this one. Let's teleport without an issue. And you go and wait in front of Alorn's cottage, and it's mid-afternoon. Starts to drag in, starts to get dark. And then you hear that sort of like, almost, it's like a ripping sound, but it's a ripping of reality, a ripping of, arcane energy that you recognize as a teleportation. And you turn and there's Alorn, Grebzedrin, and the little girl. And he says, I have to get back as soon as possible.
Thank you for meeting me, Lord. I thought this might be important or interesting enough just for you to check out.
Just as a note,
Not Lord.
Lord is like king, amongst the
What's
elves.
proper?
Archlord.
Thank you, Archlord. I appreciate you meeting me. I thought this may be of interest to you. And I describe all the goings-on that has happened. And my emphasis tends to be on the dragons a lot. And I thought you might want to look this. There's a large black dragon that appeared to have been pulling the strings of the war all along. I don't remember if I was around enough to hear it, but okay.
I'm not sure what Largo might have shared. He talks a lot.
That's true. I would probably have asked him because I want to know everything about dragons. But the dragon did not seem all that disappointed that her puppet had gotten destroyed. She seemed to be gathering information.
All right. So he looks at the armor
Sword
and the
and
sword, and he doesn't cast a spell. You're assuming that he already has something active, and he nods, says, there are often dragons hiding in plain sight. The ones we need to worry most about are the ones that are hidden far away where no one can see what they're doing.
Like blue ones in cities.
I'd like to take a shaving or a sample off of this sword. He does that and puts it in a lead vial. Corks it, puts it in one of his pouches. Says, when I have some time, I'll look into this, and if there's anything that comes of that, I'll let you know. The little girl comes over and like tugs on his robe, and she looks at the sword and throws up. And he's like, okay, come on. And it's like, I will, if I find anything, I'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you, Ursula.
Hayward is in some shit.
Yeah, I really want to go on that.
Yeah.
Some shit's going down.
He's got a cop with him at all times, and then just like some, I'm assuming, very good little girl.
While I'm in Solomon, I would visit my mother, fill her in on all the things. I let her see it as well, the stuff, and might even see what Johanna's up to.
Who the fuck is Johanna?
My library friend.
That's going to be goddamn right.
Your mother, seeing the sword and the armor, wants you to leave them in Solomon so that they can be studied.
Okay. For about how long do you think? We have
Permanently.
permanently.
About 100 years.
Yes. There's obviously transmutation magics that are uncommon in the use of these. The expert crafting of biologic material, let alone draconic material. People could write their thesis on these.
I would be comfortable with it being here because it would be safe, but I do not have sole say-so on this. It's a part of the party, and they were hoping to make money off of selling it.
So we're trying to parlay.
And you say that, she offers you a long scolding on, the
We're trying to
desire
sell it
for
to an
material
international
benefit
being.
versus educational benefit.
Belongs in a museum.
And more of it belongs under a microscope, but yeah.
You would know, hopefully, we may have not discussed this previously, but just like knowing Largo doesn't give a fuck if we sell it. Like, that's what we kind of discussed with Talura, but like, we're the two fucking arcane casters.
Right.
I mean, I would be comfortable with you. Studying it would be just as awesome as offloading it. For
Right.
me, I'm good.
Well, I personally would love some moolah, but I would tell her probably, I can leave it with you for now, but I will have to check with my compatriots for its long-term storage.
Give me knowledge local.
Well, I should have local for this. I don't even have local.
Got a touch, man.
14.
14 on the die? Or
No, it was 12 plus, or what the hell did I think I rolled an 8, and I got +6 intelligence.
If these things go into the Arcanium, you will not be able to get them back from your mother because she will not have the authority to turn them back over.
Gotcha. I'll say, let me talk to my compatriots, and we would probably like a safe place for it to be stored. And if we all agree that that would be here in Solomon, I will bring them back to you.
You do you get a lot of friction from your mom. Like she thinks you should just do it. She's telling you to do, and
I'm trying real hard not to listen to mom. I'd be a big boy.
But yeah, you're fairly certain if she takes this to the Arcanium and other Doyens start examining it, then especially like the Archmage of the college is going to be like, no, this has to stay here. It's too dangerous. We're not going to let anybody else have it. It needs to be protected here, and you'll never see it again.
Those are all fair points. Lara's not sorry.
And actually, in general, I would. My first intent was just finding someplace we could either destroy it or safely store it. But we still want Gideon.
And all of a sudden, you guys trust the elves.
They hate dragons. They have a blood feud against dragons.
It's my mom.
Largo has a lot of love for the elves. He's just a little bit wary of the people that knighted him.
I mean, I'm going to say you at least get this sense from your mother that there is like the humans shouldn't have this, the elves should have this.
That feels a little icky. Sorry, I'm not there.
We're not giving it to humans. We're giving it to an extra planar being, right? In exchange for money.
Money.
I mean, could you do a deal where anything they discover about the provenance or function of this, they'll give us the research and we can use it against this black dragon? Tactical info?
You are certain they're not going to share their knowledge or their study with you.
Fucking elves.
Yeah.
God damn it. The hi-hat every time.
Like your mother is saying is keeping it, and she probably does intend on somewhat of a benevolent level that she thinks that this is the best. But you've met the other deans of the college, and they.
No,
Dude.
I'm halfway interested in this, but I'm thinking some kind of trade or something has to be in there, or we still need Gideon. We want Gideon to look at it, and I do have to check with everybody else what they want.
Dude, let's take it down to the fucking vermin races on cheap side and bet it on a rat. Okay, let's just try
to double.
That's a great idea.
Double or nothing, dude. Trifecta on
We'll
bite.
get another one. We'll get another sword. We'll say double or nothing.
Okay,
and then
for
we'll
one
get
that we got.
another
Oh,
sword.
that was a good idea. That's a damn good idea.
False alarm.
I gotta go pick up a pizza. DoorDash can't change the address.
So, yeah,
outside of certain range.
After mom, I start getting a headache and I need to leave. Hanging out with mom, so I go find Johanna and I show her the new Hobbit halfling weed that I've scored.
Can I smoke out with you, sweetie?
But I don't show her the mushrooms because I'm too greedy. Actually, I don't even know how many I got of those mushrooms.
Okay.
She's
a librarian.
she'd like a sample for alchemical experimentation, but when you start talking about like smoking it, she's like,
I had wrote down that she's the one that introduced me to alchemy and natural drugs. It's one of the reasons I thought she'd be interested.
well, I assumed that was like, aspirin and like
Okay.
medicinal
I gave her the
drugs. Not.
smallest mug in there.
Did you mean psychedelics when you wrote?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay. Well, then, never mind.
Oh, no, Kitty.
Not so much. Not so much.
She's not the worst one to get outside.
Come on.
I know you hate it inside.
Good job, Bort.
Dude,
That good perception.
got a perception check on that cat.
The black and white one gets outside. It's completely different story. But he's probably hiding under the entertainment center downstairs. Yeah. So then you guys smoke up behind the library.
Mhm. I tried puffing up, and I'm really bad at it. But I'm like, so have you heard about all the stuff we've been doing now? And as awkward as possible, the most awkward like show of manliness.
She says, yeah, she did hear some rumors from the soldiers that you teleported back here, like some information has gotten out. But you know, the biggest thing about that is more that like you can teleport. So she focuses more on that. You know, it's a rare instance that someone reaches a level of magic proficiency to perform spells of that caliber. And then she asks you if maybe you can sometime teleport her here or there, you know, a bunch of different places that she wants to visit, but she doesn't want to travel to.
I look around and I pick up a rock, and I put a little arcane mark on it, and I give it to her, and I guess she doesn't have a way to contact me though.
He left his notebook out. So I had to
We're having a nice time. Anyway,
So yes, I can come back. And did you need to go anywhere in particular, or you just want to?
She lists off a couple of places. You know, some of it's like places where she knows a certain kind of fungus grows that she wants to study. One of it's like just going to Merrick that's got a really good theater district that she wants to visit. Like some of it is academic pursuits and some of it is vacations. You know, going someplace where she can wear a bathing suit.
Ooh, you like
Or not?
France, dude.
elf friend.
Elf France.
Would you like to go right now?
That's presumptuous but appropriate.
Well,
That's what teleport's all about, baby. It's right now.
it's winter and it's late.
Oh, that's not so good.
So even if you did go to the north shore of the Rio Column Strait, you'd be in like maybe it'd be like you know the French Riviera in January.
Okay. He's gonna like really screw this up, and he's gonna take another step. He's gonna be like, you know, I'm really busy right now. We've got all this war stuff and big time fighting, babe. I'll come back. I'll come back for you soon. I just leave it like that.
All right.
Because he's really awesome.
No
I was
game.
gonna say, if you bring your buddy Largo with you, all of a sudden it is summer and everyone feels warm.
And they still have hypothermia for some reason.
You just have like this elderly gnome following you around everywhere you go.
I can turn invisible.
No, he's cool. He's cool. Yeah, so, very awkward exchange.
Okay.
Talk a little bit and zip back.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, she's a librarian. Her social skills are not much better than yours. So you guys are a somewhat functional match. And you return.
I'm keeping these items in my bag of holding in case it matters.
Do you tell Largo about this?
Yeah, when I get back, I explain everything and that the Elves of Solomon would like to study it. And if they do, we'll probably never see them again. Which might not be a bad thing, like we were talking about, destroying it or finding some good place. But also want Gideon to see the stuff. And we talked about this extra planar thing. I'm kind of so on that, but they're talking money, so I don't know.
Your mother rolled a natural 1 on her will save to keep it to herself.
So she's gonna spill the beans to the dean.
So as you are like, finishing up your date, you are approached by basically, and you recognize they are town guard that are specifically assigned to the Mysterium, and they say, Dakuta, the Archmage would like to speak with you.
Okay. I follow him.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
There is a slight, very so slight possibility that you can be more powerful than he is. But he's probably like level 15.
He's got knowledge of local.
Yeah.
He totally has one.
All right.
I want to do this just, and I got it really bad, but what is it? I can't. Oh yeah, sense motive. I've only got +1. But I just want to see if he's good intent, bad intent, kind of thing, or neutral. Get nothing. I rolled a 17. Well, I rolled a 16.
Are you on? Who are you?
The guard who, or the guy who's asking me to go see the.
Oh, he's following an order.
Okay.
But
I didn't
well,
like
you
you
said that was
like
a total of what?
17.
17. You got the impression that
If I didn't go, I would
if you
take
said
it.
no, that would not be an acceptable answer.
What's he gonna do?
You got this, bro. What's about there?
I start following him.
Just because you guys are level 11 doesn't mean everybody knows you're level 11.
Well, with my new silk outfit, I got to do 11. Like, give a weird right
And
on.
with your newfound charisma, you're a
So, what is there? 2 guards with me? And are they?
Yeah, and you feel like as you're getting led away, Joanna looks concerned.
Yeah. I said, I take and say bye to Johanna real quick.
Okay.
And I go over and I kiss her on the cheek, which is very also presumptuous or whatever.
Okay.
Slip around behind her and teleport.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, you're
Roll
gonna,
for initiative.
you're gonna slip the.
This might be bad.
I mean,
16. Oh wait, I rolled a 20. Yep. We're doing 12.
Oh yeah. I also rolled 20.
Ooh, that's worse. 10.
That's
Well,
that's worse.
Okay. So make a concentration check.
Is that just is a caster level check or? Caster
I'm
check?
gonna assume that you've got mage armor up, probably no other defensive buffs. So what's your armor class?
I wouldn't have natural armor, so 22.
22. Okay. Well, the natural 17. Both of them see you coalescing the magic of a spell, and when they let you go and speak to your friend, but they were ready for you to do something that you weren't supposed
Yeah,
to
I'm
do.
not very good at
And one of them got a 13 initiative, and as you are casting, he throws the sort of like halberd spear polearm thing that they're carrying as their weapon of station.
Mhm.
and you take 8 points of damage.
Did I make my concentration?
What was your roll?
Or was that what the roll was? No, I didn't roll for a or did I? No, I didn't.
It's your level plus your main
Yeah, I
stat
don't
buff.
I don't know. 12, 18.
No. It's your level, or it's the die plus your level plus your casting stat.
So 23 plus my cast stat, 29.
Okay, and you have to get.
So a 10 plus damage taken?
I think it's 15. 10 plus damage dealt plus spell level. So that's 24 you needed. You rolled a 29. Okay.
Damn, dude, this is gonna. Whew, you're not gonna.
It's not water, dude.
There's several times during this campaign where you wondered if you weren't allowed to go back to Solomon anymore. I think now you're just not allowed to go back to Solomon anymore.
So,
I don't want to.
so Dakuda arrives. Where are you arriving now? Back at the war camp with an elven spear sticking out of him.
Oh shit.
Hey, I brought you something.
Do we see it? Like, you
Yeah,
wait for
yeah.
the
I got a pull out my cure light wound thing.
like, holy fuck! What happened over there?
In your shoulder.
Fall, family. No, I explained everything that's going on.
Girl trouble.
Yeah.
That makes me think of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. The messenger gets the arrow stuck in it. Message for you, son. As he falls over.
Dude. Hardcore.
Mm-hmm. Parkour.
Hardcore.
Holy fuck! That could have gone better, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to brood on this one.
Well, we gotta have Gideon check that thing out. It sounds like the elves were being uppity.
Give me just give me a straight intelligence check.
17.
That is probably the most powerful item that your mother has ever seen. So it's just like, it's in her eyes, it's a nuclear weapon, and from a national perspective, letting anybody other than your own nation have a nuclear weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you understand where she's coming from, don't mean she's right.
The current
Well-
plan with that is to sell it to an interdimensional being, right? I just want to make sure I'm okay.
Top dollar. Yeah. Which we set like a week deadline on that
Yeah, that's wild.
to go back.
It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to do it. We have to see if Gideon. If we lose the opportunity to sell it through Flora, that doesn't necessarily mean that we'll never be able to sell it. And after you brought up wanting Gideon to take a look at it, Gideon's a fucking dragon. We
Yeah.
have to have Gideon take a look at these things. We can't get rid of them until he does. Gideon's more powerful than your mom. Gideon's like archmage style, so we really have to.
He's a literal dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is smart. Yeah, and I've got like a lunch thing with the vicar that I need to get to. So,
All right, so that pretty much, I assume, ends your activities on the 7th.
Probably.
You're gonna wait till the next day to go to Penteros with.
Do we know if they're back yet?
Oh,
That's what we were waiting on.
yeah, it's probably gonna be like to be absolutely certain. Either you gotta send Gideon a message, or
Yeah. I would have done that
wait.
anyway.
So,
Yeah,
okay.
let's talk to him.
Okay, so you send him a message.
Yeah, I would say Gideon, we would like to meet. If you are someplace known to me, if not, we'll wait till you get back to Penrose.
Okay. You get a response back. If it's important, I could be to Penrose tomorrow.
Similar.
It's important. Yes, it's very important.
We think it's important.
Okay, you need to cast another spell.
Sending again.
So you cast another sending spell. What do you say in this?
We believe it's important. I can meet you there tomorrow.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Of course. 4. And I roll shit for shit.
I mean, short and sweet, dude. Pretty brusque. We believe it's important.
Excuse me.
He responds. What?
I'm trying to think if there's a way I could send him a visual. But I don't know if there's a spell for that.
It's much higher level, I think. I think it's a 6 or 7, but you can send someone a mental image or something. It would be something that I would have, but not
6 or 7.
Yeah. So yeah, with that abysmal diplomacy, I think I should probably keep an eye on the troops on their way back. Sorry.
He doesn't tell me when he's going to be there.
He'll throw in that. Yeah, it's 4 more days.
That's not so bad. He's gonna be pissed though. Largo does say this. He's like, he's gonna be pissed if we show him a fucking intelligent greatsword made out of the bones of a black dragon and a set of dragon scale armor. He'll probably just be pissed at himself for not believing us when we said it was important, but just saying.
I probably should have thrown a couple more words in there.
It's, hey man, it is what it is.
Yeah, Dakuda's saying it's important. Was not convincing to Gideon.
Reasonable.
I'm used to that kind of response.
Yeah. Well, let's wait 4 days.
Okay. So on the 12th of Delmall, you guys, who's going? Dakuda, Largo, Bort,
And I think Yanni.
Yanni?
Talk tactics.
Yeah, I'm the last man on that one.
All right, so you guys teleport to, where are you teleporting to in Penrose?
Cordesi State. We don't want him to fucking mishap.
Yeah, I go someplace for sure because I was embarrassed last
Give
time.
me a percentage.
22.
Okay. Yep. You show up right in the Cordesi estate.
Do we see Hans?
Klaus?
Klaus? Do we see Klaus? Forever, I will probably Largo probably. Okay, hello, Hans.
No. Klaus not right.
Is this where Brick is?
Yes.
Should we check on the head?
Would this be Yanni's? I guess this would be Yanni's first experience, like first time seeing the Cordesi estate. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Largo's gonna walk you around, introduce you to everybody, take you down to Brick, act like that's not a big deal.
This will be your room. Used to be.
Yeah, you get introduced to Berg, and the two of you immediately recognize each other as martial artists, and there is like a little bit of comparison of styles. You know, you guys do a little sparring in the backyard.
Spar?
But yeah, it's quick, friendly. He just wants to see your style. You want to see his style. You do realize that you are significantly more capable than he is at this point. But punching him is like punching a friggin' stone wall. Kind of sucks. But
Right.
you punch through.
I would like to be.
stone before. Just yeah. Berg is about 5 foot and some change, and he looks like he is made out of stone. You've seen once or twice this race. It's called an Oreed. It's a person whose some of their heritage goes back to stone elementals. You believe that there's more of these people in the Hemeshron Caliphate. They're not as common in the Antholon Empire.
Okay.
But yeah. Other than that, Rosie's gone. Elena has her own place now.
Yeah. Oh man, it's
So it's
kind of lonely.
yeah, it's fairly empty.
Rick's there.
Yeah, brick in the basement. The skull has been picked clean. It is, the bone is not white. It's sort of a grayish color with black veining running through it. One of the horns is gone. Most of the teeth have been removed.
Mm-hmm.
And he how can I help you?
Is he clothed?
He has a waistcloth.
Yeah.
That is like, it's like a band of white fabric on the side and then, hanging between his legs and hanging down over his ass. Spotlessly clean, though his hands up to his elbows are covered in blood.
Okay. I introduce him casually to Yanni. And I say, Yanni, this is Brick. He's our witch.
Brick says, I'm a witch.
Sorry.
It's nice to meet you, Brick the Witch. If you want to spar in the back, me and the Rock Man have already set up shop out there.
Oh, no, I have other things to do down here.
I bet you do.
Brick, what news of the skull? What have you discovered, my good witch?
Well, you can see, and he holds up the skull, the discoloration of the bone seems to have been a significant permeation throughout the entirety of the skull that of the dragon's essence into the structure of it. But you can also see in this black veining, apparently the draconic influence enlarged her, made her bigger, and where the bones split, a more pure form of the draconic nature had to fill in those places. So that's the black veining, and that's why the bone is more of a grayish color than a normal white color that you expect from most humanoids, because there's a permeating influence there. I'm still studying the teeth. I think that's more of an exterior enamel coating grew on top of them, as opposed to like an infusion. I think maybe her original teeth are inside the draconic outer layer. The horns are entirely draconic in nature, unless some orcs grow horns. I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
Not to my knowledge.
And then he takes a large, like 8-inch diameter jar and sticks it, and you can just see like a sort of floating mishmash of muscle and skin. And he like turns a little bit, and you can see like it's her face. Like, I haven't gotten started on this yet.
You're doing a great job. We commend you on your initiative. Can't wait to hear of your findings.
Brett, can I have a small sample of the more potent dragon essence that you discovered on the skull?
Well, I haven't removed any. Would you like some of the removed horn? Because that is.
Fully draconic.
And so he cuts off like a 2 or 3 inch section, the tip of the horn, hands it to you.
Put it in a container, bag holder.
Is Brick like level 20? I could see you having privately leveled Brick due to all his research in combat and Petros.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Very well could be.
Well, Let's go speak with Gideon.
As we leave, I say, Brick, what's Hounson's is a home for you. Your table will always be open. I really appreciate what you've done for the place. Consider, food and drinks on me for the rest of your life.
Ileana already made that offer. I don't think I need to eat or drink twice as much, but thank you.
All right. Well, she's got chutzpah. Real good gal.
I don't know what chutzpah is, but maybe sometime I will study it.
It's an orcish idiom. I know you love culture.
And why does a half-elven woman have it?
Again, orcish idiom. I've been reconnecting with my roots out in the field. You'll have to meet my Daryl. He's quite the language partner. I've been refamiliarized with some of the local dialogue.
Largo just says,
Yeah, there's this like sort of back and forth crosstalk dialogue between Brick and Bort, where Brick is continually like driving the conversation into darker and darker and less relevant territory. And you're not really sure if he's doing it to fuck with you or if he means it entirely.
It's reasonable. Keep on bringing him guts and teeth and horns and stuff. I know what he likes.
Largo says, "Hi, Daryl Garrock," and starts up the stairs.
All right, let's take our leave. Go find these heads of state, or these, emissaries, our guys.
Couple dudes.
All right. Are you going to just go to the castle to talk to Gideon, or are you going to send him a message, or?
I'd send them a message.
You want to go to Hanson's?
Do ascending?
Yes.
What do you say?
We are in Pinteros. We will meet you when and where you advise.
He says, I don't know what I'm meeting you for, so my advice is not well informed.
Back room at Hanson's.
Okay. Thank you. I'm guessing he at least knows that we killed the Evan Ruin.
Yeah.
Um,
But at no point in time have you said that, like you want to show him
I know.
anything specifically, so
Well, I
he does
need to-
not know why you want
I
to talk to him. And there's
So I
like,
have to do a sitting spell again anyway. I say that we have Evan Ruin's sword and armor appears to be made of the black dragon that showed up on the battlefield. And we thought you would like to see it. We can meet you at the back of Hanson's.
he replies, yes, take those extremely dangerous artifacts to a heavily populated area with a bunch of strangers. I'll be at the Cordesia Estate in 15 minutes.
Reasonable. Seems good. Seems like this guy really knows what he's doing.
No, you just stay there. I'm coming.
It's a pizza party.
You guys want some pizza?
Pizza.
Oh,
I got Chinese over here. I'm good to go.
fancy.
Fantasy slice.
The delivery person, because I texted her, like, tried to get her to change addresses, because that was the whole issue. She said, quick question. Is there actually a graveyard on your road? Because that's so metal. And I said, yes. And she went, awesome. And she got the Prius and she drove away.
That is fucking bad.
Yeah. Okay, so 13 minutes and 46 seconds later, knock, knock, knock.
Bort opens the front door of the Cordesius today and says, "Oh, fancy seeing you here. Come on inside."
You open the door of the Cordessia estate, and you feel something brush against your elbow, and Gideon is standing behind you as you begin to speak to the street.
To no one. Can we offer you some oatmeal, Gideon? What a pleasure.
You're very charismatic.
Oatmeal's not my favorite. If you have any wine, I'll take some wine, but I think we all know what I'm here for right now.
Um,
I hold out.
Okay.
as you're doing that, Bort goes to the pantry and gets you glasses and goes to the other pantry and gets a bottle of wine. And he pours himself like a dainty 5-ounce pour of like a really nice wine. And then he fills Gideon's glass like all the way to the top of the glass and like hands it to him and says, it's a very fine vintage, and hands him a glass of very full wine.
He takes it and spins back towards the table with incredible speed, not spilling a drop, and then takes a sip off the top and places it on the table.
He's so cool.
Yeah, he's so cool.
He's the fonts, dude.
And he takes a look at the sword. And his eyes glow with like a silverish sheen. And he touches it, and you can see like this black arc of arcane energy jump from the sword to his finger. Mm-hmm. And then he turns his attention over to the armor. Looks at the rest of you and says, "What are you planning on doing with these?"
Well, I roll a diplomacy. 43.
Did you roll a 20 or
I
something?
rolled a 19. And I say, well, here's the thing. So there's a couple different options. We spoke to Talura regarding these items to see if she might know a potential buyer. Now, before you say anything, we know that it might be dangerous to sell these items to anyone. So we were going to come prepared to the transaction with a refusal at hand. However, Dakuta's mother at the Arcanium also desires them, and Dakuta barely got out of there without a scuffle. So yeah, those are our two options as of current.
Bort gestures magnanimously with his glass of wine. And
Are you wearing your finery?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
I'm wearing my finery.
Cool.
Do you sniff the wine before you drink it?
Definitely. And with diplomacy, I have no skills in diplomacy. So with a 9, I say, or perhaps you have a suggestion, Gideon.
Just looking ridiculous.
Exact. Total dick.
But maybe thinking that he looks really good.
Fucking cool. Yeah.
Your devil thinks you look fancy.
That's all you need to
That's
hear.
all I need, dude. Just need Daryl blowing smoke at my ass.
So Gideon looks at you, and like for the first time, like actually looks at you, like takes you all in.
Gideon.
There once was a half-orc named Bort, a roguishly daring old sort. He schmoozed his best in fine chapeau and vest, but amounted to not but a ward.
And I
Make a will save.
make a will save. Oh dear.
I forgot he
That's
did
not
that.
great. And not great. 6 on the die, plus 5 is cool 11.
And you respond,
And that's
I-
great.
Can I know what he did? Spellcraft or something? Just wondering.
sure.
To be fair.
28.
Spellcraft as well. Silence. I'm assuming.
Just everyone be silent.
It's it is it's an enchantment spell. It has a sonic descriptor. You're not familiar with it. But then Gideon turns back and says in Bort's voice, so, Talora's buyer. That's fine. And then he goes back to his own voice and says, if you go through her, that thing's going to be far, far, far away
That
from
makes
here.
it a lot better.
In a perfect world, I'd love to see these just absolutely destroyed. But I understand adventurers have their needs, and these were hard won. If I find out that this sword got in the hands of anyone within 1,000 miles from here, I'm coming for you.
And with
Not necessarily to kill you, but I will be coming for you.
I roll another diplomacy. Fucking 37. And I say, get in, and I gesture to Bort. Just next time, just ask him to shut up.
You think that would work?
At least what I'm asking is at least let us know if you're gonna cast a offensive spell against one of our party. We treat you with respect. You and then I say, and I look at the ceiling and I go, usually.
Yeah.
You're the only person in the room that he can lean down towards.
Yeah.
And he leans down towards you and does a big smile, and you can see, where his teeth, several of them are silver, and this is one of like sort of the. A lot of times dragons will have like a little giveaway.
He's a Dargon.
And you see, the white teeth also turn silver and get pointy. And he says, my kind has their prerogatives. And you are shaken.
Damn, I don't know. Will save, no nothing.
It's an intimidation check. And with his roll, you can't.
Can
I
you give me
mean,
a chance?
he has.
Let me see how you roll a 20.
No, you don't roll a will save on an intimidate check. It's
Oh,
just
yeah,
he has
yeah.
to hit a number for you.
Yeah.
And being a dragon and being the skills he has and his charisma modifier and everything, I think if he rolls a 1, you still fail. Or he still rolls high enough. It's 10 plus your hit dice plus your wisdom modifier. So he has to roll a 22, 23. Your wisdom modifier is 1,
Yeah, my wisdom on first one.
so 22. He has to do a 22, and he will always roll a 22.
And I go, Jesus, man, I thought we were cool.
The entire time, Bort is silently, just like douchily sniffing his wine and like swishing it
I like the
around.
charismatic douche.
That's the foppish dandy in my new finery, my new diplomat. Silent pantomime.
I will say, Gideon, we feel much better having your approval for getting rid of it this way, because we know nothing of this buyer. Do you, perhaps?
Yes.
Is there
No.
anything you? Okay.
using silent wine douche pantomime, I magnanimously gesture towards Yanni, and I do sort of a Yanni meet Gideon. Gideon meet Yanni kind of a.
Ding, turban.
Yanni has met Gideon.
Fortis knows.
It's the first time Yanni's been to our house.
Right, but Gideon was at the war.
Yeah.
Yeah, he saved us, right, the first time we ran across.
Yeah.
And it was not uncommon that he was in the war table meetings and discussions.
So I think upon Bort's pantomime, Yanni would just say, "It's pleased to see you again, Gideon. Hopefully, you do know that we do come in peace. I know we may not seem that way at times."
He looks over at you and he says, "You have your fun and I have mine."
Fair enough.
Gideon, is there anything you could share with us about this dragon?
We don't all know each other. Especially the metallics and the chromatics. Given the half dragons that were somewhat common during the war, she's been active. She has been working for some time without raising any flags. So she has been secretive. What I can say, or what I can infer, I should say, is according to the introduction I heard, or that was recounted to me, that Zahira made when she crashed the dinner party with Lord Jenkins and the King, something about her being the offspring or the spawn of the errant onyx serpent.
Mm-hmm.
I assume this dragon, before she took up residence here, probably lived in the Nokiri Empire.
We already knew that she wore like the ancient kind of Nokiri, like it looked like she wore like Nokiri nobility garments, except like old and raggedy.
And given the size and information that I've heard from your accounts, she's several hundred years old. And dragons get better and better at protecting themselves as they age. So if there is information about her, if there's knowledge about a black dragon, then it's more likely that you're going to hear that slip of the tongue in the Nokiri Empire than you are to find anything about her here. If she moved here in the last century or so, she probably already knows how to cover her tracks. She probably already knows how to keep a low profile and manage her extracurriculars without making everybody aware.
It appears it's our intention to hunt her at some point.
You want to come along?
No.
That's fair.
If I go out and hunt a chromatic dragon, I am inviting chromatic dragons to come hunt. As Gideon, as a member of the Duchess's court, me participating in the war was a acceptable effort. And I did not specifically go after the dragon. Also, I know that when chromatic and metallic dragons go to war with each other, we're not the ones that suffer the most. So I politely declined.
Will you give my regards to the Duchess?
Any information or advice would be well heeded.
How many kobolds died in the war?
Kobolds? I am not sure.
There were no kobolds, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yanni,
I think there
give
were
me
some.
give me a knowledge history check.
Oh, there were some on the Dracolisks.
Oh, yeah.
They were riding them.
You said history, right?
Yeah.
27.
Okay. According to reports, 7 kobold corpses.
7 kobolds died.
There were 5 of them were Dracolisks riders. You're not really sure where the other 2 came from, but
Okay.
it was it was one of the oddities of the combat. There was only 7 of this race present during the 7 dead bodies were recovered. Godric took out one of them. The rest of you fought and killed, I believe, 2 Dracolisks and their riders, and then there were 2 others killed elsewhere during the.
We ganked the armor. We ganked that badass black armor off of one of them.
Oh, yeah, because
Your newbies did.
Yeah, fucking Danzig.
it was
cool ass.
Yeah. So yeah.
They're both the same size.
So, and Gideon knows this. He was just, bringing the subject up dramatically. He says that is nowhere near as many kobolds as a chromatic dragon of her power and maturity would control. She probably has a small army just of her offspring.
Okay. That's good to know.
Um,
I'm good at handling small armies.
Also, you've dealt with Princess Teese. She was not a mature dragon. And I've heard about the giants that she mutated into her service. A mature dragon doesn't have to focus. Their presence changes the terrain and the nature of the lair that they occupy. It actually makes sense if you look at the map, which I don't know if you guys probably can't see that too well. Okay, so the mountain range comes here and immediately goes into swampland that separates temperate plain from the temperate plain that is Lund. And Yanni, you have knowledge geography?
I do.
Or is that just?
But what you're saying is that's a
That's
terrible roll. 12.
Yeah.
That dragon's been there, you know,
Yeah.
how long that swamp's been a swamp.
Yeah. It, and Yanni's not, or Gideon's not pulling out a map. He's speaking this out loud. I'm just using it as it makes absolutely no sense that a swamp just appears in that location. That land is sloped.
Oh, yeah.
So I would assume that the swamp exists because she layers there.
Would this imply that removing her would cure the lands of the swamp?
Not instantaneously.
But over time?
Over time, the geography would probably change back to what would be suitable for the nature of the land and what have you.
Largo pipes up a little bit and asks if Gideon has the knowledge of how long that has been a swampy place, or if that would be a better question for Jenkins or someone like a geographer in Senton.
Senton was established in the Gatian Fields right around 100 years ago.
Okay.
So the Antillon Empire really only started, trying to settle that section of the Gatian Isle around that time. I don't know if we have cartography data going back more than maybe 150 years.
Okay, and that swamp has always been there?
You will have to go look that information up. I don't know it off the top of my head.
All right, I immediately head off to go to talk to Marcotte.
All right, just right now.
Yeah.
You're not even waiting.
Well, it gives us an idea of how long the fucking dragon's been there.
Largo, be careful.
Largo's still shaking, right?
Still in the presence of Gideon, so yes.
Yeah. But I
Go ahead.
But
As you walk by, I do lay on hands to get rid of shaking.
Okay.
you're not. Is he?
Oh
there?
no, you're not there.
I'm not?
It's just Dakuta, Largo.
Oh, right. Okay.
So yeah, I kind of tip my feathers and go like, I'm gonna go ask Marcotte, and then I fucking peace out.
Okay.
I'll be back. I said.
The swamp, was that part of what was like allocated to the orcs, or is that kind of under different? Like, where does that fall in the administration?
Best to ask somebody in Senton.
Yeah.
I appreciate the thought that you all think, oh, Mirak, you're not there.
I'm not there. It was Aaron asking.
Or it's still, pantomimic conversation.
Does he know it?
Credit.
Yeah,
I'm
just
just going for it.
Yeah.
Using my newfound charisma, yeah, I'm trapped in a glass cage of emotion.
I have been on the road for a very long time. There is a hot bath in the castle calling my name. Send me a letter or something when you have finalized whatever you're going to do with these things. And
Gideon, could I ask you one question before you leave?
you just did.
You've seen our capabilities. Do you think we stand a chance against a fully matured black dragon?
I haven't seen her capabilities, so I don't know.
Fair enough.
Once mature, there's still there's still a significant amount of progress that can be made. So I don't know. And that he leaves, and you hear from the front of Cordessi Estate Fort yell out very loudly, very clearly, "I love short, hairy dwarven women.
That's true.
My name is Bort Sizemore, and I take on all comers." And then he's gone. And Bort, your voice comes back.
You're like, I second that.
Let's go find some.
Brace the house.
Margo has gone to
The library.
to Markup to the library. We're in the Cordessi Estate. It's you and me and Yanni. Yanni, and my voice is back. Yanni, have some oatmeal. You're wasting away. Dakuta, can you send a message to the vicar for me?
I believe so. What would you like?
I'd like to offer him dinner at Hounson's.
Okay.
You're invited.
What's your last name?
Sizemore.
So to the victor, I sending Port Sizemore has invited you to dinner at Houndson's I'm saying this and I kind of look.
This evening.
This
Dinner time.
evening at dinner time. You know.
Yanni comes back around the corner with a bowl of oatmeal, and he's like, "What the hell? You made me ruin my dinner."
Little time passes, and you're getting to like, you might not respond, and then you hear, "Sounds lovely. I'd be interested to catch up on leisure, travel, and business topics."
Said something about liking ketchup.
Uh,
No, I go ahead and tell him.
We serve the best ketchup at Houndson's. Yanni, throw that oatmeal in the trash. Let's go.
Bird comes out, apron on.
They could have dissociated from all these needs.
To Houndson's. But you're doing a thing.
I'm doing a thing, but I can also
Okay.
be filled in a very quick time.
Is there something specific you want to do with this? Because otherwise, we could just say you go to Houndson's, you have a conversation with the vicar, you pass them the money.
Done.
We're done. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless there is some conversation you want to have with the vicar, that
Would he be able to give us any more information on Tulura's source? He navigates commerce and
he says, "I'm aware he's out of my taxing jurisdiction."
all right. So
And that's it. That's all he's giving.
just so we're clear, these items will not fall under the arrangement that we have.
Well,
This
you're
is-
not selling them from your business establishment, so no.
No, sir, I say and tap my cap.
Your turban.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, you're very fancy.
So good.
So good, dude.
Imagine like a
All right, so-
like a bright orange.
So that taken care of.
Bingo.
Largo,
Better
you go to the bibliothèque.
Yes.
There is a new attendant at the front desk that you've never seen. He's a tall, kind of gangly half-orc that just seems to be wearing a constant stupid grin on his face.
I roll a diplomacy. 28. And I say, I introduce myself. I am Largo Dilgo McTrolatan Yasmat. And I say, it is imperative that I please speak to Markov or one of his chief librarians.
Well, it's just me and him. But I can see if he's around.
That would be lovely. And your name?
Root.
Root?
Root.
Root? I struggled with that a little bit. Just kind of like a guttural stop, like root. Thank you. I eagerly await your return, with or without him, because I will have to speak to you if he's not around.
No problem. And he turned around and goes into the back.
And it makes sense you have a hard time with that name. 'Cause
Yeah.
Your language is so long and flatters. So much else. Look. That's it.
He
Another long
comes.
pause as you're waiting for more.
Yeah. He comes back out a couple minutes later. It's like, is there some, like, what do you need to talk to him about?
The oldest possible records you have of the geographic makeup of the Gaetian Isles, specifically the area around the center.
Okay. I mean, you could have just asked and not had me bother Markov.
I haven't seen, I try to explain, can I use the same diplomacy or should I roll into one? I just explain, that like I haven't seen Marcotte in a while. We've gotten along famously in the past. I appreciate his company, and it would be nice to see him. But if he's not available, that's fine. I did come here seeking that information.
Give me a sense motive.
Oh God. 8.
Okay. He's like, well, he doesn't want to be disturbed right now. I'll just get you what we got.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, you guys have been here before, and you've known and seen that he is brutal with his employees.
Yeah.
And you've seen like 3 attendants ago just like crying in the street after getting fired.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He goes in the back, comes back with a atlas and some scrolls. Give me a knowledge geography check.
Read intelligence. 8.
Okay. I mean, you're basically just looking for
Swamp.
what maps of these have the swamp on there.
Yeah.
And going back by date, when is there not a swamp there?
Yeah.
And you do find one of the maps that seems to be like 300 years old. That's like pieces of map that have been pasted on a sheet of vellum.
Yeah.
And that it's the oldest map that he has, and that's the only map that doesn't have a swamp there.
And the next oldest one has a swamp and is how old?
About 160 years old.
160. So we'll safely assume that at least 160 years. Okay, cool. I profusely thank the half-orc. I hand him a silver coin and start back towards the Cordessi estate.
He's very appreciative of the tip. And yeah, he wishes you well.
Onward I go.
Okay. So, anything else you guys want to do while you're in Penrose? Oh, we do want to do that selling thing.
Yeah, we want to sell to Tellura. It's been long enough, right?
Yeah, we'll say that, the next day is the day that you needed to,
And we gave her a timeline that makes sense, right? Like she's already contacted this dude.
I'd have to look at the previous session, but let's say yes.
Okay. Be it like we sent her a sending spell and said, hey, we'll be there in 3 days or whatever. Okay.
I think we left it a week. I think we're like right on time.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
So yeah, you head over to you let Tellura know, assuming that tomorrow is the day, and she says that she will finalize the arrangements, and you should come at basically 3:17 in the afternoon.
All right.
Surprisingly specific.
Let's do this thing, Dakuda. I do advocate that it should just be me and Dakuda.
It's up to you guys.
But that's just Largo's.
He's very charismatic though.
What time do you get to Tellura's?
3:15.
I think, yeah, probably 3:15. Yeah, early. Slightly early.
Okay. Make an intelligence check.
7.
8.
Okay, one of you roll a die, and I'm just looking for high or low.
Low.
12.
I said one of you.
Oh, yeah, they roll first.
Okay. So, you get there, and it's like 3:20, and Tellura is visibly annoyed.
We were trying to get there at 3:15, but it didn't happen
Right.
until
And there's, you guys don't have watches.
Yeah.
You know,
Fair.
there's not even a clock tower. That's not a, it's not a common technology. So,
I don't even know what this means, but I'm doing it.
if you had said you were getting there at 3 just to be safe, then I'd say okay. But
Yeah.
you said 3:15 and
Yeah, 2 minutes.
a 5-minute window of error.
Yeah.
So like you were not on time, and then rolling low meant bad.
Mhm.
So you were late. She says, "You're late.
Correct.
My broker's fee is 5%. You agree?
Yes.
Come on." And she takes you into a back room, and then stops, says, "Wait here a second," and goes literally through a wall that you obviously recognize now as an illusion.
Sure.
And you hear her speaking with someone, starting off with apologies, blah, blah, blah. And then, requesting permission. And you don't hear another party speaking at all. And then she walks back through the illusory wall and says, "Keep it business focused. Do not ask personal questions."
This is gonna be very fucking interesting.
Here we go.
And
Wow, you're tall.
and don't cast any spells that target them. And
We're not Gideon.
she waves her hand, and the illusory wall disappears, and you see 3 figures in the back end of the room, which is kind of like appointed and comfortable, sort of lush, but like a nice rug, draperies, that kind of thing. But there's only a table. There's no chairs or anything.
Yeah.
And standing there is three individuals, an 8-foot tall, blue-skinned man with 3 eyes going down the center of his forehead, no mouth, long, sort of spindly arms. The joints seem to be in the wrong place. Opulent robes, a fez hat not different than yours.
Not different. Did he get it from
Not terribly dissimilar. And behind him, flanking on either side, are these 6-foot tall, sort of slender, 4-armed individuals wearing some odd armor that just seems to protect vital spots but not completely encase the body, and 4 swords on each of their backs. And as the illusion fades, the individual, the blue individual, looks at the 2 of you, and you hear in your minds, Talura says we are to do business. What business do you have?
Do you look as me? Are you?
Yeah, I'm totally looking
talk?
at your cop.
I roll a 37 diplomacy and say, "We wish to sell you a sword and a suit of armor, Dakuta. Perhaps you'd like to present them if you see fit."
And he's standing on the other side of the table, so the table is obviously there.
It's hard to get this out open.
You see before you what we offer.
Yeah. So he looks over everything, and reading his expression is impossible.
Yeah, totally has 3 eyes running down straight, like middle of his head.
At best, you're getting like curiosity or intense study or what have you. And after a few moments, he looks up and says, "What would you like in trade?" He turns and looks at Talora, and she turns to you and says, "He's offering you the equivalent of 30,000 gold pieces in value minus my 5%. So 20, what would that be? 27,000 gold pieces in value."
She's taking 5% of 30,000?
Oh, 5%.
Yeah, it's 1,500.
So, yeah.
No. So 28.5.
Mm-hmm.
I counter offer. 35,000. And then I say, I look at each one of his eyes in sequence and say, it is reasonable.
He looks at you and he looks at Talora, and Talora looks back at him, and you get the impression like he might not really understand coins, and they're like there's like a translation between him and Talora.
Well, sure, we're working through
as far
her.
as
Yeah.
monetary value goes.
Does he have something that will be
And he says, I will be open to an amount of negotiating space on the previous mentioned value. What do you wish for in exchange?
So that was, I get from Talura or maybe just from what he said in my mind, that is too high a price.
Well, no, what you get is that, first off, what you're getting a lot of this is he probably doesn't have gold.
Yeah.
He's probably trying to trade you items for items.
Okay.
And what he said there was, I will allow that 30,000 to be negotiable up or down.
Yeah.
Based on what you want. But like the specific numbers and everything are.
Okay. I mentioned that we seek to destroy the creator of these items, and indeed the creator of the creature who originally wore them, who we have already vanquished. And if there is anything that this person might have that can aid us. that would be awesome. Also, if he has anything that has a bonus of +5, that would also be cool.
Okay, well, +5 item would be 50,000 gold pieces.
Sorry.
But he doesn't.
I mean, maybe you guys know this.
Yeah.
He raises his hand, and with these long spindly fingers, like Dakuda, you almost see like the space in the air kind of warp as he pulls at it, like someone running their fingers through, coffee with cream and seeing the color of it change. And he kind of plucks out of the air a small gold ring. And he places it on the table. And Talora says, "You can examine it."
I look at him and I pull out detect magic and identify.
Okay. Go ahead and roll d20.
Rolled 8.
Okay, so you know what it is. It is a major ring of energy resistance against acid. So Whoever's wearing the ring, the first 20 points of damage from any acid, don't take it.
20 points.
And you know, this would be 1,004, or this would be 28,000 gold pieces.
So niche.
Yeah, and
It's exactly what you asked for.
Yeah, totally.
That's the problem. Is we're asking for items, but I guess we didn't like come with a prepared list of items.
Yeah, totally. We thought we were gonna get money.
Yeah.
So we should go. Sports Hunter.
He's an interdimensional trader.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, me and you are having waffles at Houndson's right now, so just imagine that. These guys are dipping with a blue guy or pouring syrup.
I'm looking over fields of corpses.
It's an insanely valuable thing that he has offered.
$2,000 below asking price.
Yes, but he worded that that's not going to be it. At least as far as Largo is concerned, that's not going to be it. That would help us out a lot. He is correct.
Well, I mean, you described what you needed.
Yeah.
He produced something that would be suitable for that need. And yeah, like you get the impression that there is wiggle room here.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted, if there's another low value item, you could probably add that in.
Yeah. I mean, it's only 20 points of damage, but
Every single time.
every single time.
Every single time you're hit with acid damage,
The
it takes
first
20
20,
off the
so
top.
it's DR. Okay, yeah, it's DR, right?
Put
Resistance,
that
of course,
shit
of
on
course.
Godric and just
Yeah,
let
you put
him
that
go
shit on
smite.
Godric and let him go smite. Yeah, we need that. I think so. What do you think, Dakota?
I was hoping for something more. I personally can protect against acid a good bit for all of us.
Okay.
But nothing pops into my mind immediately.
You also get the impression that this is not all he has to offer.
Yeah.
Gotta pull those
You
slots.
asked for something.
Yeah.
He-
No, I wasn't even thinking about items.
Out of curiosity, would that stack with my angelic aspect?
No, it would not.
I mean, I have the ultimate equipment handbook in my car right now. We could say that our characters know what is in there and just text Dan what we would like at later.
Well, I mean, you know, if you can give me like an idea of something that you know, like
Yeah, take
if
this
you
out of
don't
the
want
thing.
something that's going to give acid resistance, are you looking for, you know, a weapon? Are you looking for a defensive item? What are you looking for? What do you
Yeah.
want? What's going to fill the niche that you want to fill?
I think defensive items, yes. It would be cool if it was not just acid damage. It would be cool if we could give one of our heavy hitters, or Dakota, you, because you're the least value right now, right? So we were kind of gearing this towards you. Is that correct? You're the bottom of the list?
I was towards there. I don't think that's a lot.
They got the very bottom.
Yeah.
Very low. So, I mean, Mira could use something like this ring of resistance for sure.
Yeah.
So
Mirak is definitely at the lowest, and
Definitely. I'm a municipal employee.
you're just below Godric, and then Dakota, you're above Godric, but it's like
It's not gonna
you're like 15,000 higher value than Mirak is.
I mean, Dakota's here, right?
I'm just saying, like,
Yes.
you know,
it's the
tell me what you want,
Yeah.
and I'll
We're
tell
thinking-
you what he can produce for you.
I personally would like something like something for sustained flight at all times, like boots of flying or something like that.
I mean,
it comes to my
Largo's-
head.
Yeah. If Largo is there,
Looking for more.
yeah, Largo would like something for himself, but he also would understand that maybe Mirak and Godric might want something.
Well, it's the question, do we want like one big thing to help us, or do we want like 6 4 to 6 smaller things that kind of help a couple people.
Dakuta, you know that there are, things called wing boots exist. And it allows flight 3 times per day for 5 minutes of flight. And that's a 16,000 gold piece item.
I think you should ask for that, and then.
But I mean, again, you fly longer when you cast the fly spell.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know.
We could ask Dan to kind of, like he's saying, we could ask Dan to kind of curate this, maybe just come up with a number. 4 badass things that could help us out a lot, because our characters know all these cool items, but we don't. So I think 4 badass things that can help us out would be a good thing to trade these 2 things that we'll never be able to use for.
It's true. I've always wanted my own pocket dimension.
What you gotta do in there?
I'll never tell.
Yeah, it's gonna,
Might show you pictures of it.
just an 18-year-old with a pocket dimension.
Something else, since we're like kind of looking at some of the lower end people in the group, there's a item called Celestial Armor. It is a +3 set of chainmail. It's made out of mithril. And it's considered light armor, has a dexterity bonus max of 8, and allows the wearer to cast fly on command as a spell once per day. This would be exceptionally useful for Godric.
What's the value of it?
And that would be about 22,000 gold piece value for Mirok. Thinking about things. Mirok could use a headband of charisma +4 instead of +2. That would be 16,000 gold pieces.
I think if we can get those 2 things.
Well, that would be 38,000. And that would be
nice.
And we're not really talking gold pieces anyway.
Yeah.
We're just swapping.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the last thing I was expecting. I'm completely incapable as far as my personal knowledge level of every single item in Pathfinder. Completely
well, I mean, let's say you guys have a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah.
These are the items that kind of come up on the table as you're negotiating. The idea of the armor and the headband, he's going to need more from you.
I mean, I'm comfortable downgrading to a cloak of resistance +2, if that makes things easier. So give me a +2 resistance bonus to all 4 reflex and will saves.
So you're saying you want one?
I'm saying if like negotiations don't work out, I'm happy to like for a lower price item. That sounds super helpful, right? A +2
Okay.
all those saves.
Well, I mean, it's a cloak of resistance +2 is only like 4,000 gold pieces.
Isn't that +9,000?
Pretty sure the cloaks of resistance are on the cheap.
Oh yeah, you're right. I can go up to
Like a 4 would be 16,000.
Yeah.
So not 3 would be 9,000.
Yeah.
And that would put you at 31,000, which would be in the range that he'd be willing to do.
So yeah, you get a +2 resistance bonus from the 4 reflex.
And +3 cloak of resistance is pretty much good for anybody who doesn't have a cloak of resistance. So.
Which is all of us.
Bort's wearing a cape, so he can't use it.
Which is all of us, but bored.
Not there.
Anyways, use that information as you want.
Yeah.
I'm rich as
So yeah, if you wanted to do the armor, the celestial armor, and the cloak of resistance, that's a viable option.
What do you think, Dakuta?
I think that's fair.
I'm saying start at the high end, see what you get.
Yeah.
I'm just offering you terrain to fall back to.
Is there something that like would allow me to
not concentrate, but have like a permanency silent image follow me around?
There are crystals that you can carry with you, and when you cast an illusion, you have the crystal concentrate for you.
Okay.
That does exist.
How much would that be? Probably a shit ton of money. Sorry to make you look up all these things, but I just figured if he has access to like 1 million items, I thought maybe he'd have access to 1 million gold coins.
All my stuff is tied to acid.
Yeah.
I'm not as liquid as I want.
Yeah.
Did you already pass out the items from the previous game 2 weeks ago?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
big time.
I don't think Godric got any because he wasn't here to advocate for himself, but we're getting you something now.
That's cool. Who got the ring?
I got the Ring of Protection.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm now unstoppable.
They look at me and they feel, they quake.
They see my ring and they cannot comprehend the power. It's just a tiny little ring. It's just a little ring of protection.
Oh, like, what's that? Very glittery.
Is that a mood ring? Looks like
Oh, it's about to be.
I just had to look up the name.
So talking about that cape got me thinking of Yanni in his monk robes with a cape, and that just seems like the most ridiculous outfit imaginable.
I mean, you're verging on
Okay.
like Saturday Night Fever.
So Phantasmal Gem would be 4,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
Spellcaster holding the gem casts an illusion spell with a duration of concentration. The illusion lasts up to an additional 10 rounds after the spellcaster ceases concentrating on it. Spellcaster may end the illusion as a swift action. Phantasmal Gem can be used multiple times in a day, but cannot grant more than a total of 10 additional rounds of illusion per day. And the gnome using a Phantasmal Gem can recharge it by expending uses of spell-like abilities gained through the gnome magic racial trait. Each spell-like ability expanded as a standard action recharges 1 round duration to the Phantasmal Gem.
That's pretty fucking good. Is there anything like slightly more better than that, but very similar? Is that like the closest thing that I was asking? I would like that. So I think the cape, the armor, and a Phantasmal Gem. That's $30,000 right there. That's exactly what he's offering.
That is 35,000.
That's exactly what I was
And this is all haggling just over the sword.
No, the sword and the armor.
Sword and
Yes.
The sword is worth 50,000 gold, and the armor is worth 10,000 gold. So that's 60,000. You're in a selling position, so you get half. Largo is diplomacying up to try to get higher than that, and you're pushing it right at the limit of what he was maybe willing. And this is kind of like he was willing to go 35, but now there's nothing left for Talora.
Yeah.
So give me another diplomacy check.
As a clarifying question, why is it automatically half? Is that like a Pathfinder thing?
Yeah, pretty standard.
Is that
Cost versus price.
If you're selling, you sell for half the price of what you buy it for.
So let's look at it from his point of view. He should pay full price.
I'm just trying to
That's
figure out how
the
the
same
economy works in Pathfinder. Is that like the cost of making it?
Well, generally speaking, with magic items, the cost of making it is half the price of the cost of purchasing it from somebody.
So you'll never make any money off of it.
Yeah, walk me through it another time. I guess I'm just not getting it.
I mean, it's a standard, and you would assume that that the half price is like owning a shop, and like you have to like all of Talora's inventory just sits there for a while before it gets sold. She needs to pay her employees.
She's
and
got to frame it. There's auction fees.
Right,
Right.
so that's a
Pawn
50%
shop.
profit margin. That's insane.
Well, it's a 50% profit margin off of the base cost.
Yeah.
So so if you want to make a magic item that costs 100 gold pieces,
Right.
or well, you make a magic item that costs 50 gold pieces to make, and that 50 gold pieces is gone, and you have the item.
Mhm.
Now you have to sell it. So you need shelf space.
Yeah.
You need to rent a store. You need to hire people to stand around the store and tell other people what the magic item does and blah 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 blah.
But still,
So like it's a 50% markup on the cost of the base materials. You also have to pay the person who actually crafted it. You're paying them for their power and their expertise in the crafting, not just So like half markup.
Right. Yeah. I guess
Double
so.
price off of the base component costs.
We're not selling it to a consumer, we're selling it to a trader.
Right. And this is, you didn't make to order these items. This guy is accepting what you have on hand and is willing to offer you compensation so long as he gets the better end of the deal.
Okay. Yeah.
And right now, we don't know anybody who could benefit from this stuff that would be willing to pay full price.
Right. But even if you did, they'd still offer you the same. They'd pay you half of the value of it.
But we pay full price for everything when we go into a shop.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Because, you can choose to just not buy it.
Yeah.
But when you want to sell it, you don't have a choice of, Orc's Back Alley gets a better deal because he's a storefront.
Yeah.
But there's also nobody that's going to come back there and buy from him a 50,000 gold piece sword.
Yeah.
one question for clarification. You make a magic item, you say it costs half of the sell value to make it, right?
Right.
Then you try selling it, and you can only sell it for half of it.
Right.
So you never will make money off of
Unless
selling the magic
you own a
item.
store.
Wow.
I mean, you have to like, I could go make a cabinet in the basement and then I have to like actually put effort into going out and trying to sell it to somebody.
So there's no.
I don't have a
You're
customer
right.
waiting
You're
outside.
always going to make money.
Not always.
I think the biggest thing here is this is just like an attempt to close an infinite loop of us just sitting around making gold and not actually going out and adventuring, right? So it's like if you just
that is a significant part of this.
Yeah, it seems like that's part of the rule mechanics. Is like stopping infinite gold creation.
which is cool.
Yeah.
So characters, yeah. What I'm
I
getting
don't
from
think
this,
it makes sense though.
yeah, in a real world perspective, it makes absolutely no sense because there's things like you can go sell something. You can be a traveling merchant who crafts items and go sell them. But what I think the rules are getting at is that player characters sell things for half what stores do.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
Well,
it makes
'cause
no
usually
real sense.
A lot of times the stores are making things to order that you
Yeah.
buy. You get what you want. When the players are selling that stuff, they're like, I found this shit in a
Totally.
crypt. It's still got some dead skin on it. You want it? And it's like, well, I mean, we can fix it up when we can sell it for more, blah, 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 blah. But
So typically, you're always going to be selling to someone who's going to want to resell it. But it's also probably just, that's a paper thin thing to think about in the real world, because of course, if we were all able to make magic items, we could make the magic items, travel from town to town and be like, hey, I've got magic items, and sell them for, 1 gold less than what the store was selling them for.
hey, I would be super surprised if my Tesla cost more than $30,000 in basic parts,
Yeah,
like raw materials.
right.
I'm absolutely certain it costs significantly less than $30,000 in raw materials, but I had to spend $60,000 to buy it.
So, but if you were making Teslas, you could conceivably sell them without a storefront
In these modern times.
in these modern times.
Tesla's having a fucking bitch of a time trying to do it because
Yeah.
they're trying to do direct sales and most states aren't letting them do it.
You understand what we're saying.
I understand what you're saying. This is the mechanics.
Yeah.
It's not far-fetched.
Yeah.
It's how things work.
Pathfinder doesn't let player characters sell things for price. They let them sell for cost. So I think we should just.
I am letting Bort sell things for price
Because he has.
because he has a storefront, but he has to wait until someone's going to show up and want to buy what he has to sell.
Well, cool. I think we should get the cloak. I can see you. Your head is just going. Both of your heads. You're just like, I don't know about this. We have something that's worth 50,000 gold pieces, and it's only offering us.
No, yeah. For this situation, it's fine.
Yeah. So I think this is what I think we do that deal. If he's, I mean, I rolled a 28
I want
on my diplomacy to try to convince him to do what we discussed.
I have my reputation. Gideon said, hands off. Can't sell this with me, okay, pal? We could get top dollar. We just have to wait.
No one's gonna roll up with 50.
Hey, again, I have my reputation. We made a gentleman's agreement, a silent gentleman's agreement in our kitchen. Not to sell this at my storefront. Value what I have. I'm charismatic.
Especially now.
All right. So he looks at you, and he looks at Talora, and Talora looks at you, and says, he's willing to make the deal, but I only get 3%.
So the other 2% would come from us.
We can make an adventure deal with it.
Yeah,
We've
but
got gold, though.
I think I have enough.
Cover the VIG, dude.
I can do it.
You cover the VIG.
I can cover her. I'm ready to shake
Okay,
hands.
so that's
but I
like
check
what,
in
like
with
600 gold or something like that?
Yeah, I have 1,500 left over in my personal coffers.
Okay. So the total on that is 35,400 gold pieces. And so you're going to need to give her 2% of that. So that's going to be 780 gold pieces.
Cool. I'm comfortable with that. I look to Dakuda before we shake hands and before we sign off on it.
So was this what you want?
I do not have a want besides gold pieces, but it seems.
And either one of you want to give me knowledge planes, you might be able to figure out what this guy
I
is.
was gonna.
How much I figured it out. 2% is 708 of 39,400.
25.
8.
What?
25.
25? Believe that this is a mercane.
Which I would know to be.
MERS, I'm gonna guess like a water plane.
Well, you're
Mercantile.
you don't like they're a very secretive race that trades in magic items and magic items alone. No one knows what they use the magic items for or what purpose they serve because they almost are never actually wearing or using magic items. And the name of their race, whatever they call themselves, they don't share. But Mercane is pretty much just a contraction of merchant and arcane.
It is not a handsome guy.
I just Googled it. Is it okay if I pass this around? It's just a picture. It's not. I'm not metagaming. It's just a picture.
Get out.
I mean, I did metagame.
So
but I'm not
like,
sure.
yeah, they're known as Mercane. That's not their native, species. And my Mercane don't look exactly like that.
Sure.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Yours sounded spindlier.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if the artwork has mouths. Mine speak till that.
Yeah. So it does. Yeah,
It
just a
has
small.
mouths and 4 eyeballs.
I am comfortable with this. I shake the hand. I give
So
7.
he doesn't want to touch you.
Yeah, I tip the fez. Does he tip his in return?
He does do some sort of a nod. And the items that you request are on one side of the table, and then he kind of pulls his fingers around in this, like stirring the actual space, and the sword and the armor just kind of get pulled up into a rift in the prime material plane to someplace else.
Yeah.
And they disappear. And then he does another sort of gesture and creates something, but then it appears inside of a bag, and he hands that to Talora. but as it passes, you can tell it's not coin. There's like something, maybe crystal or metal or something in there, but it's obviously a magic item and not a bag of gold.
Cootie says, I hope that we can do business again in the future, and I'm wondering, is there any items that you are on the lookout for?
He looks towards you and he says, all of them.
Question, I am not willing to sell this, but I am wondering what might be worth, and I pull out the wand of wonder.
Oh dear. He's just trying to unload this thing.
No, not yet, but I'm just, some people are interested and some people aren't.
Oh, right, yeah. People who want it, you don't have it.
I think he would want it.
Yeah. People who don't want it, because he want to have it.
He looks at it carefully, and Talura seems extremely nervous about that being on the table between the two of you.
So does Largo. He gave that away.
He responds with, I am highly interested in this, but I will not make an offer.
Maybe in the future. All right.
What is that? This guy conjures shit out of thin air. Why does he want me to offer right now?
Well, he probably has a cachet.
Hey, he's blowing through, you think?
Well, no, it's just he knows that
He knows how the game is
himself.
played. He knows what the Wand of Wonder is.
He's a
and
mercade.
stipulations. Magic items are carbon, and he's the Amazon rainforest. He's a sequester for nice things.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm happy with what we got.
So,
Such armor.
you know, at that,
+3.
he bows to Laura, and he bows to you, and he raises his hands, and a planar gate opens up and just swallows him and his bodyguards, and they disappear. Talura says you have 2% you need to make up.
I give her 750 gold pieces, and I say, I know that sometimes we are difficult to deal with, so thank you for still dealing with us.
She said, well, this is the best deal I've had with you so far. It's all profit for me.
Yeah.
I appreciate your business.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you. And I'm
Come
sorry
back
for turning your
anytime.
store purple.
Please don't do that again.
Yeah, I won't. I was just excited. It was kind of cool, and I was excited.
So with that, you have that sorted out. So
On the way, I want to help out with that, so I give you 100 gold pieces.
Oh,
All right. Thank you. Actually, it's 10 o'clock noon if it matters.
oh, it does.
okay, so just to clean this up real quick, you're getting the resistance cloak plus three to all of your saves.
What are you doing with that other one?
I don't have another clue.
Oh, I thought you had it.
So Clopius.
Cloak boy.
So Godric, you get a new suit of armor. This suit of armor has a +9 to your armor class.
Damn.
Damn.
What do you have right now?
Look at me, so happy.
I think it's like a +2 chainmail shirt, so a 6.
So +9.
Yeah,
In addition, or just
No.
replacing?
replacing.
And my armor bonus is 6, and then dex modifier is 6.
Right. So replace the armor bonus. Change that from a 6 to a 9.
Okay.
Okay. What is your dexterity bonus?
The +4 ability is the ability modifier.
Right, but don't you have, it's +4 and then plus,
I got a temp score of 22 and then temp modifier of 6.
okay, so that stays the same. Yeah, so it, yeah, so the big thing is that your armor bonus goes up. And you can cast fly once per day.
That's good.
Oh, sweet.
Death from above.
Don't you have wings also?
Yeah.
It says he can cast fly. It doesn't say he has to cast it on himself.
Okay.
Flying buddies.
Clear the lane.
See, you might want to give your old armor to Largo to make up for some cash he had to throw in to make this deal go.
Yeah, that worked. I'll give him some gold too, but I got like 190 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Not much, but
I pissed her
I got
off.
what he needs.
Got
Got it.
What?
I think turning her shop purple in front of customers.
Right.
Okay.
Comes with the territory.
So yeah, I don't know if there's anybody in that group that might want to use that chain shirt. It's a mythical chain shirt +2, so it's got a +6 armor bonus. I think yours is better. You got like +3 leather. Well, I actually might not be. What's your armor bonus right
+6.
now? Okay, so it's
Same.
I mean, I'll take it, but I will sell it to recoup some of my
I
losses.
think you can carry it.
I have a bag. I have a handicap. So.
Will it fit
no.
So you said my AC is the only thing that changed.
Yep.
As I'm wearing.
All in Aaron's lead here.
Gotta,
Is that you?
you gotta do it now.
No, he
Oh,
made
nice.
sense.
You guys like marking one spot? Is that like
That's where I go. That's the spot I do it because it's heavier than air, so it's
So,
going to go down.
Paul?
the stairs.
I like that.
What
Man.
is
It's like
my-
a stinky slinky going down the steps.
Yeah.
What is my? I mean, I have. What is my armor?
I don't think I have a kill items one.
Oh, yeah, black leather armor.
This is black studded leather armor.
Mhm.
So AC bonus of 3 with a +3
Mm-hmm.
enhancement bonus.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the +5 stealth anymore.
So-
That's on your cloak now.
Oh, that's my cloak.
Well,
That's right.
it's a +10 on your cloak.
Mhm.
You
Which-
traded out the armor for something else. So, yeah. Yeah, the chain might have, let's see, because
So
that's,
you said it's mithril,
yeah.
so it's still light armor.
What was the armor called again?
Celestial armor.
Celestial.
And it is very, very good.
Sounds pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, you went from like second to last. to
Okay,
probably, like,
so technically speaking, with that armor, the maximum bonus to your armor class from your dex
Mhm.
is 6.
Oh.
So you have this, you have 7 dexterity bonus.
Mhm.
I think, let's see.
Can you just double check what the chain shirt
Think
said?
about how many orphans in Tarnal would be fed with that mithril chain shirt, Largo. Probably cover there.
So the max dex bonus from the chain shirt would be 7.
That's not what I was saying.
So what you're probably doing right now is benefiting from, yeah, so you're benefiting from that 7, which should be a 6. But with the mithril chain shirt, you'd be able to, you'd have what you have on the sheet now.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have it.
Okay. So now you have a +3 studded leather armor.
Okay.
On the in the pot instead.
Okay. And Fort finally has his
What
shiny shirt.
plane was
Right.
Because
that
extra planar beings are chiller than elves.
What plane was he from?
You don't know.
I don't know what they come. Oh,
It's different.
Mercane are extremely secretive and xenophobic.
gotcha.
Nobody knows where they're from. Nobody knows what they do with their magic items. There are some theories that they are somehow used in their sexual or procreation process, but it's entirely speculation. Nobody knows if they all have their own or if their entire society pulls from the same pool.
What is the star called?
It's just they're they're just weird.
Change shirt +3.
And they basically exist in the setting to offload magic items for high level characters.
All I heard was that they're using that sword and armor to get freaky.
That was the important takeaway. If you could, wouldn't you?
I probably would.
Guilty.
One down again, Barbara.
Well,
I'd like to sell +3 7 leather if I can.
So
Eric,
change shirt +3. AC
You
bonus.
probably sell that's +3 would be
I've got armor
be
bonus.
9,000 gold. You probably
What is the
offload that
+3?
to Laura
Is
for
that
around
damage reduction?
4,500, 5,000.
How does that?
What are do we know what the chances are that what Fort would be able to get rid of it for?
just so we don't have to waste more time talking to Largo.
Give me a
Where is it?
What if Fort got rid of it?
+3? Oh, that's
Change
interesting.
shirt +3.
That's a good.
If Fort got rid of it, it would sit in his thing until it was sold.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe I'll give it to Bort. Bort, I'm gonna give you that +3 studded leather
Great.
for you to sell in your storefront.
We're
Might
gonna-
take a little while for you to sell, but
Mhm.
try to sell it.
We're
No,
gonna,
that is probably on the better end of like trying to sell on the black market because a lot of the people who try to buy from him are like rogues, thieves, that kind of thing, and that's the kind of armor that they'd be looking for.
So like write that down, whatever, write that down or whatever, but it's a hefty item. It's 9 grand.
store.
Fort,
I
roll a knowledge local.
24.
24 and a
This is what looks like this,
who is so like Teak is running this shop right now?
Chica's running the shop with the squad. I've got his kind of letters. It's been going well. Business is good.
All right. So you pass this off to Teak. Tell him to offload it. He says, he'll do what he can. It's a high price item. Like, how fast do you want this to go? And what are you willing to take for this?
I mean, we're not trying to get like top dollar here, but we're not trying to get ripped off. Like, if it takes a month or so, whatever.
All right.
Money right now.
I think 7 grand would be an okay thing to get out of it.
And yeah, he does ask, like, he reminds you, like, you need to get a guy for this. It is really, like, any kind of doing this is fucking with his cover as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's like standing in the corner with a hood and like the price for the artist. And it's just ridiculous. It's not what he's he's like, you need to get a guy to do this. I cannot keep doing this for you.
I hear you loud and clear, T. Reasonable. Reasonable. Thanks for hanging in there.
That's just never let him go. Never, we'll never find anyone else.
I do one of these with like a gold coin and I flip it to him.
Okay.
I wink at him.
Right. So he says you want to try to get this offloaded for 7 grand in the next month.
I mean, 9 would be nice.
You know that's not really.
I mean, 8 would be nice.
See what I can do.
All right. Thanks, T. You haven't let me down.
And I kind of take it aside and I'm like, that's orphan money.
Have a waffle. And I can't
I'm
do
pretty
it.
sure Largo does not know that Bort is still doing this with tea.
Oh,
Yeah, you hella don't.
Yeah, you got really upset.
You got really upset
Well, no,
with
no, I
him.
was talking about the orphans in Tarnful.
Ah.
Like I gave you something because I know that somehow you'll be able to sell it for a lot of money. I'm telling you that I'm trusting you to give me that money.
They're buckwheat.
I'm trusting you to give me that money.
Or perhaps you'd like some maple syrup from harvested from the Tarnholm area. We have it specially imported because I know it's your favorite.
I take the waffle, I douse it in syrup, and as I'm eating it, I say, I'm gonna check in with you.
And a glass of buttermilk to wash the buckwheat waffle.
I drink the buttermilk. It's just like, I'll be
You're just
frequently
covered in
checking in
sticky
with you.
syrup and milk and just like waffle flour. Yeah.
I'm thrilled.
You're like a chipmunk. You're chock full of breakfast. Just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, we're gonna keep this as an open conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yum, good. Gotta eat up for the big teleport. It takes a lot out of you. It always has.
So Yanni's sitting there eating his waffles, watching this, and he's in between bites. He says, I expected us to really be doing a lot more killing than what we actually do.
Oh, you monks are all the same.
We sure do a lot of eating food and drinking alcohol.
What about getting Bird to run the shop?
I don't think if I thought of that, he would not be a good seller.
Bird has a 5 charisma.
This is how much this is.
I know.
Where do you live?
Listen, hey you guys, we gotta go kill this dragon.
Yeah.
I know a very tough halfling. Don't worry.
Okay.
I got a guy.
Oh god.
Oh, the stoner?
He's not. No, dude.
No, fucking.
Danzig.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we gotta go kill this dragon.
Okay, yeah,
first.
yeah.
Uh huh. You don't take no guff. He's a power top.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Let's go kill this dragon.
The only time you've interacted with him, you nearly made him shit himself.
It's tight, dude. I like the cut of his chin. I like the gleam. I like the skull in his belt buckle.
Okay. All right, so you guys head back
forward.
Twink.
All right.
Yes.
So you guys head back to. I'm not even on the picture here. You guys head back to the command tower. You arrive, and coming back from Penrose, you guys are now like kind of seeing what was an endless sea of tents and people set up is becoming sparse and disparate. And you also notice that there are some peasants that are kind of like trying to rebuild their little stone walls, their areas of their farms and whatnot. But the land has been heavily damaged, and the property lines have been almost wiped out. So it's what was the high excitement of celebration and your birthday parties and everything is now more this weariness post-war and trying to pick up the pieces. But yeah, so what do you want to do now?
Let's go find this dragon and murder it.
Yep. I think we make our way towards the swamp. So Jenkins know what we're doing.
I think that we're on the right track with our plan to kill this dragon and use it as a show of force and a bargaining chip in a diplomatic mission, but I don't think it's with the forces of one. I think it's with the Nokiri Empire. I think that the way we're going to get Largo out of hot water is by killing this dragon that clearly fled from Nokiri 200 years ago.
Okay.
And was evicted from that land and took up residence here. We're going to clear your good name by presenting what royal did you piss off?
The princess of the
Princesses love head.
yeah.
It's a well-known fact.
Okay.
So we're gonna take this princess ahead.
Yeah. So the one that you fucked the one that you mess with.
It's like not ebon, onyx, the onyx serpent, right?
She's the princess who's next in line to the empress. And right now, the onyx serpent is the house that is in control of the Nokiri Empire. There's 6 different houses. Politically, they vie for control of the empire, but you basically you cast a spell on the crown princess.
Yeah.
So,
Did we ever get her name?
yes.
What is it?
Sarah.
It's my sister's name.
Hold on.
I want to say Yumi.
Uni?
Yumi.
Uni.
Yumi. I want to say that.
Oh, good. I will write that to Becca.
You-
I'm thinking here.
Yeah, this is the errant onyx serpent.
Go on.
Okay.
Say
So-
more.
Black dragon,
Go on.
onyx serpent.
Well, we already know she was introduced. The Ebon Ruin introduced herself as the spawn of the errant onyx serpent. So we know this is the same house, probably from hundreds of years before. Not to cut you
So
off.
how are we gonna? Okay. How are we, I feel like if we kill a part of this house, we're not gonna make any friends by doing this, right?
Well, errant. Assuming.
Real quick, the CUDA,
Yes.
give me an intelligence check because you're the most likely to pass this.
18.
She said, that the excerpt of her little introduction speech that is relevant is reared by the twilight lotus, the errant onyx serpent of Nokiri.
Okay.
So that's the dragon. The dragon is the twilight lotus, the errant onyx serpent of Nokiri. So this is like the ruling class of the Nokiri Empire, perhaps banished. I mean, who knows? So I do relay, Largo does relay the information of like the oldest map that I could find that had this swamp, which we now know to be the creation of the dragon, is 160 years old. Dragon's been around for a while. Dragon hasn't been in Nokiri for a long time. Regardless, though, if we bring them the head of their ex-matriarch, that's a power move that will gain us favor in a different way. Also, us showing up as a group of 8 level 11 people is a power move. We could go there right now and say, stop sending assassins after Largo. And they'd be like, okay.
And then they would drill a hole in the boat we came in, and it would sink miles off the coast, and we would all die.
And then we would teleport to Petros.
So we're killing a dragon.
Cups right.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go find a swamp.
Let's do it.
Bort gets a good stash of kebabs and waffles and hobbit pipeweed. I'm ready. Let's go.
That's all you need.
Good. I have a blade.
I've been telling Richard to pee into his cask whenever he's done drinking out of it. For use later.
Reasonable. Got a shiny new shirt. I'm ready to fuck a dragon.
Well, what are you wearing right now?
What are you wearing?
I would hope that you are not going to soil your new finery.
I'm wearing my shiny shirt.
Okay.
And
Alright, just making sure.
Cloak that absorbs light. I've got my diplomatic accoutrement stashed in my fuck bag. What is it called?
Fuck bag sounds good.
Pathfinder pouch. My password is fuck bag. I say fuck bag and it expands into a backpack.
I think on Dan's version of your character sheet that I was playing with, the password is just fuck.
Okay.
Not that means it's
The
not
password is
fuck
just fuck.
Okay. Hey, fuck you, fuck bag. There you go.
Yeah, the princess's name is Yumi Kabura.
of the Kaburas.
Yeah, they have an incredible,
Sorry,
yeah.
You've never been?
No, I always want to.
You simply must go.
Actually, it would be the Daizan Kaburas.
Oh,
Since the Daizan is the capital of Nokiri right now.
Daizan, yeah. Not the Chippewa.
How was that spelled?
Kaburas.
Kadat Kaburas.
Uh-huh.
What was that, Yanni?
The Dyson. How's that spelled?
Daisan.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, let's head to the swamp. Who needs shit?
Are you sure you guys don't want to like go to Erica's for an hour and a half? Buy a ladder?
We got a rope.
We got time. We could go get a ladder.
It's true, it's not 10 o'clock.
Dude, I've got one. I've got an expandable one on the adventure bag. Remember when she gave me a remember when she eye snitched me?
Yeah. Dragon would never see a ladder.
That's true. We just go at it with a ladder.
Dude, give it to Yanni. He can do like the Jackie Chan thing with the ladder moves.
Also, reduced person, climb into its butthole, and return to normal size.
And be crushed by the dragon's anal musculature.
I am not as big as Ant-Man.
Actually, you are probably smaller than its turds.
In full size.
Yeah, you'd just be a butt plug. That's how that would turn out. I mean,
Might even be kind of fun.
Let's go. Holy
should be enjoyable.
Please come up to say hi. He finally got comfy enough to enter the room.
You're our best friend.
Okay.
Mercury fights for us.
So, is there any particular way that you are planning to?
I think we get to the swamp, we try to track some kobolds.
Yeah.
Kobolds lose to the dragon. Maybe we can find one, interrogate it.
Okay. I think that's a fucking great idea.
I've had a lot of time looking at courses to think.
All right. How are you going to get to the swamp?
You know?
I could probably, wait, we're already at the battle.
You were at the command tower, yeah.
I think we communal mount in. I'd rather like ride in versus teleport, so we get a kind of sense of linearly what's going on between us and there.
I might need to counter the casting like a couple times.
Oh yeah,
You can all
it's
fly now.
travel.
Yeah, so we'll start heading up. I think we ride. What do you guys think?
Sure. I mean, once I run out of second level castings of communal mount, I can start casting third level castings of
How
communal
many
mount.
mounts can you make?
I believe I can make enough mounts for all of us to ride for 2 hours. And have to keep kind of going. I can cast 16 of them a day while keeping my 4th and 5th level slots open.
My Daryl will have to walk.
My dear.
He could ride, I can fly.
My Daryl shall ride.
How long can I fly for?
Like 10 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, we can also just reconnoiter horses from Jenkins. I'm assuming this is a war camp. There's probably abundant horses.
Let's see. So Bort needs a horse. Mirok needs a horse. Uhtred needs a horse. Godric needs a horse.
Of course.
Largo can ride on anybody's horse with with anybody. Garog needs a horse. So that's 6 horses. Because Yanni is faster than a horse. And he never gets
So
tired.
6 horses for 2 hours, I believe is the standard that we figured out last time. Because it's like more horses than that for a less amount. I think 6 horses for 2 hours.
I like your idea of just
Let's just ask Jenkins. Let's get real horses.
Okay.
just meat horses.
Okay.
We need horses.
Made out of meat.
All right. Well, let's ask.
They're made of meat. They talk by flapping their meat.
Again, every time you summon human mount, I assume it's a McRib, and we're just riding like fully connected to each other.
Oh yeah, it's a wall.
Sidecar, sidecar,
It's a
sidecar,
wall.
sidecar.
Horses.
Horses.
Yeah, there's
Okay, so you are level 11.
Correct.
So you can summon a mount, just the mount spell, for 22 hours.
Yeah.
Split across 6 horses. That's basically 3 hours apiece. And if you do this in conjunction with Mirok casting Blessing of Fervor, you can extend that spell.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably better than getting actual horses, because actual horses, like,
You'll need to
will
feed
get
them.
tired,
They can get,
Dead.
they can get injured. You
Right.
know.
You just tell
You're
them.
gonna ride real horses into the swamp. You're going to kill them. You know it. You're not going to come back out of the swamp with the horses. You know you're gonna teleport back home.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is
the
his
never-ending
name?
story.
Atreyu is the
The
boy.
swamps
I
of
forget the
sadness,
name.
yeah.
I forget the name of the horse.
Artax?
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I love
Yeah.
Artax. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is my first line? He's fucking sad. You made him sad. Now he's gonna die.
I cried so fucking hard. That was my first crush. Was
The
Atreyu.
horse.
Oh,
Artax.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I fell in love with Atreyu when I was fucking 6.
But a slip of a girl.
It's Artax.
Yeah, well, it's blessing up further, and then McRivet to the swamp.
And then it's what? It's 6 hours.
Yeah.
So we just ride all fucking day. And then
What
we
you got there, Jake?
Popsicle.
It's a good looking popsicle.
Is that a dove bar? Or a fudgesicle?
It's a dub bar.
Dove bar.
Dovey.
Pretty good.
Well,
Got
let's
it.
ride these horses, gang.
Let's go.
So 1 casting per day is all we conceivably need if we ride for 6 fucking straight hours.
Yeah.
2. Let's say 2. 2 castings.
My Daryl shall walk.
So actually,
Zero.
so it's extending.
To me, my Daryl.
So that bumps it from 22 hours to 44 hours,
Yeah.
which then divided by 6 is 7 hours.
7 hours.
So
we can just ride for
yeah,
7
that's
hours.
pretty much with that. And like these are horses that aren't going to get tired, aren't going to get winded. You can pretty much push them, unlike real horses.
It's like 6 shadow faxes.
So yeah, without
You could probably also gem it and get a meta magic to extend your duration.
Even more. Yeah.
Yeah, blessing up further, heal them out.
yeah.
Full day's ride. Let's do that.
So from the command tower, from the command area, you leave everybody. And we'll make it pretty simple. In a week, you arrive at the edge of the swamp.
Okay.
At the end of a week. So Delamal 19.
This is
19.
the last month of the year.
Is a year 365 days?
It is 366. 6 months, each with 61 days.
But this one only has 55 this month, right?
This month has 61 days.
They're all
They
61.
all have 61 days.
We're at the swamp. Yep. I'm looking for traps. Fourth tip of the spear. I'm like back to my old tricks, and that's trap spotting, boys.
I am walking a couple people behind you, trying to figure out a way to use mend and prestidigitation to fit this new gemstone of mine into my face.
Don't trap it in the swamp.
I life link to everyone in the party.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Boris checking for traps. You guys are doing some stuff. Who is leading the pack? Who is deciding where you go, choosing the direction, and striking forward?
I believe Yanni should do that.
Do any of you have knowledge survival or have the survival skill?
I think I do,
Or
not
no.
much. I've got a 1.
And it's not a class skill, so you just get a
Right.
plus 1 or plus 2.
Plus 1.
Does
You don't have a wisdom modifier?
11.
Oh, dude.
Does Gerard? This is home turf for
Yeah,
him.
we knew that.
Did you? Oh yeah, you did bring Gara.
My Daryl shall attend me.
Does he know of any odd places in the middle of the swamp? Most likely in the middle. Come further away.
Perhaps I'll ask him in our native tongue.
It was my birthday.
Uses all the wisdom.
Yeah, you should.
Gerard, have you seen any fucking weird shit in this swamp?
Right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Crocodile shit's kind of weird.
You seen any big black dragon looking crocodile shits in this fucking pizzle? You seen any big black dragon looking black dragons in this fucking pistol? They don't have to be shit covered.
No.
Oh, you know how everything's dead and shitty around here?
Yeah.
You seen it where it's deader and shittier than it is here?
Oh, we're not supposed to go to Yalagar.
Oh yeah? Well, show me where we're not supposed to go.
We're not supposed to go there.
But just show me, like, we don't have to go there, but just show me where we're not supposed to go.
Like halfway to Lund from here, and go north.
Okay, so let's go this way, towards Lund. Come on, everybody.
You're just doing what Garrett doesn't want to do.
It's me, my Daryl. So we get halfway, and we're gonna go. Who's got the compass? Which way's north?
There is no such thing as that.
Garrett has survival.
I'm also elected to Garrog just in the deck.
Okay.
All right, we're headed in the right direction.
As you guys are trekking through the swamp, you do attract the attention of some of the local fauna. And as you're, trudging along, there's some narrow sort of pathways. It seems like the orcs have built, like pushed mounds of dirt to create a path.
Using a hoe?
What?
Using a hoe?
You don't know. You weren't there.
That's about hunting.
Yes, it is.
That is correct. Everyone give me your perception check. Perception check.
Here we go.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Not great.
I got a 19.
Got a 12.
20.
Natural one for Bort. Should have been talking to my Daryl.
Got 25.
25.
You're
21.
bad. When you start sinking into the swamp.
Okay, so what did you get? 20? Okay. So Dakuda, Godric, and Yanni, you all see approaching sort of from the northwest of you're still on this path to sort of, to get halfway to Lund from the edge of the swamp. You see approaching through the swamp, like a ripple in the water, and
Incoming.
yeah, it looks like for Godric, you've seen this kind of animal before. Last time it was in a sewer. These are crocodiles.
Fuck.
Just traumatic.
So,
We're going after a dragon, a crocodile.
like
too.
everybody to roll initiative.
Rock out of the water.
I'm talking to Garrog, and I say, so then I said to Gideon, well, that was all certainly the one.
Garrett's just like, okay.
All right, everybody roll initiative, please. Remember D12s.
So what? Not crocodiles. What are they? Crocodiles?
Dragodiles.
Dragon. Ooh, hell yeah.
17.
17 for Bort.
15.
15 for Mirok.
16.
4. 16 for Dakuda. 4 for Godric.
14.
14. Yanni.
13.
13. Okay, Dakuda, you're the first to act.
I see this thing coming, and it's underwater.
You see like the ripple on the surface. Now, I mean, this is not like the Dragodile was huge, was actually gargantuan technically. This is a crocodile.
Don't underestimate.
I say
Take you right down to the tree bits.
right. I say incoming. I point that direction, and I want to try something a little weird because I'm only so worried about this thing. I'm going to Scorching Ray.
Okay.
But I'm going to hold my blue dragon scale when I do so and try and bend it.
Okay, give me a spellcraft check.
Not great. 24.
Okay. Now it's only a level 2 spell. So yeah, you managed to change the fire to lightning.
Right. Well, I'm thinking it's underwater already.
So that's 2 rays.
I'm thinking max, which is 3. Yeah, 3 rays.
Okay. So give me 3 touch attacks.
Here we go. It's just
With that level,
I think it's,
are we blowing our cover? It knows we're coming. Yeah. It is the swamp.
We've entered the swamp. Yeah.
19, 24, 28.
Okay. So that is 12d6.
Wow. Okay.
Overkill! 11, 12, 13.
The crocodile's like, I wonder what's over here.
I am an animal.
No, Miss Swampy Mountain.
Tick tock.
Oh.
Welcome to Craven County.
Now I'm shoes.
44.
Largo's wearing.
Yeah. So like you all prime and like, oh shit. And it, these things are coming in and Dakuta, pulls a dragon scale out of his pocket real quick and points and 3 lightning bolts come out of the tip of his finger and hit the water surface. And you just see like that ripple come to a slow stop and then a belly up crocodile just kind of bobbing in the water. Is CR2 normal animal. You guys are like legendary warriors.
I slapped you on the back so hard.
I'm kind of
steering my horse over. Hell of a job.
Are you still on your horse in the swamp?
I thought we were. Are we not?
I mean, it's
They're not real.
We never said dismount.
These are real LaFlette silk scale. And if you play your cards right, I know a guy who might make you a hapless guys.
You're
well, I
Just
mean,
go on by
like,
one.
you guys riding over flat open plains was a very easy ride check that I wasn't going to make anybody do. You guys trying to maneuver horses through a semi-frozen swamp is, stuff is muddy. Sections are covered with ice, but then they break.
Yeah, we'll just say it.
Yeah.
I go.
I would imagine like you guys get a little ways in. Mirok falls off a horse.
I don't do that. That's not true.
Mirok, you're the one that's gonna fall off a horse with your armor check penalty is through the roof and your dexterity bonus is shit.
I calmly dismount. I'm a small boy bringing wooden stairs over the horse.
I am the small boy.
But let's see.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Just an alligator. Just a crocodile. Aw.
Mirok seemed very upset.
I was
responding.
those things.
He's kind of your trigger.
Mirok has an alligator problem.
It's like camel crickets. You become an adult and you're a fully grown adult. You see a camel cricket, like
Yeah, that's just weird.
it's just a DP. It's like
So this thing is like flash fried in the water.
Some boots.
It's good eating. Okay. What's
It's electrocuted. It's not cooked.
okay? Well, that's
microwave. That's exactly how microwaves work.
So the only person in the group that has a single point, has a point in survival and it's a class skill, is Garrett.
Daryl, my Daryl. Yes.
He rolled a natural 19 on his survival check. So he gets to, he leads you guys into the swamp. And this takes like another day of travel, like with full, you find a spot to camp. bed down for the night, you wake up in the morning, you continue on. There's a few more of these, like an alligator comes up, and at this point you guys are like, oh, and just one of them, you know, like Godric goes over and stabs it, Yanni runs over and punches it. This is not a
Can we agree
just
to
one of
do
you
non-
deals with it.
non-lethal damage at this point? Now that we know it's just a fucking alligator.
No.
Okay, we're killing it.
I don't think we are going to agree.
Yeah.
I think parts of us will.
All right. We're killing
But anyway, like, yeah, you guys are dealing with the normal fauna here without any issue. And Gara gets to a point and he looks around and he says, yeah, Yalagair's that way. And he points pretty much straight north. And we're not supposed to go there.
Did they ever tell you why? Did you hear any stories? Who told you?
Like, three questions?
I know. Don't pester Daryl.
No, that's the way I would do it.
Do you speak
Google
orc?
Chrome tabs
Do you
on-
speak orc? Do you speak orc?
Goblin.
No, he doesn't understand goblin. He understands orc.
Well, I say that anyway, and he looks at me weird. I'm like,
We're not
Daryl,
supposed
would you
to go
like to
up
join us on our northward venture?
we're not supposed to go up there.
As your chieftain, I give you permission to go to the dangerous area that you were told not to go. How do you feel about that? Daryl, would you like to hold this shiny golden valet kit and wait here for us?
That's fine.
Daryl, would you
You
like
gonna
some?
come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like these shiny firefly stones to play with while we're gone? No, not so much. Daryl, would you like this fine masterwork dagger to juggle while we're gone?
Can you say Darga?
Darga?
Yeah. Darga is like a sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than Daryl.
All right.
It's,
Well,
I know Darga.
Darga. We'll only use Daryl for formal occasions when we're at state dinners and events of consequence. Darga, would you like this fine masterwork dagger to juggle while we're gone?
I don't know how to juggle.
Darga, would you like to practice juggling while we're gone? I have a fine masterwork dagger for you to practice with.
All right.
All right, here's a fine masterwork dagger.
Does he want shorter while we're gone?
what'd you find out? Did he tell you everything about this area?
Daryl's gonna hold my dagger and my extra waffles while we go and kill this dragon. It's north, which apparently is that way. Dispel those horses and follow me.
Dispel. There it is. Dispel water.
And just for the note taker's sake,
Yeah.
him saying Yalagair is YALAGCH dash GER.
YALAGCHGER.
Working with my language. Okay, regional dialect. This is a hip Orcish.
It's good. It's good.
Does Daryl want a stone ceiling over his head for when it rains? Like a little stone before he does it. I go over and I just stone shape a crude two
A
triangles.
lean-to.
Yep, and a lean-to. Just as like solid stone. And I make eye contact with him.
Darga Daryl.
Gara.
Darga.
Darga Gara. Darga.
Oh, just convince him it's a title. It's so good.
It is a title. I'm the chief. I decide.
Yeah.
This is this is my right.
I didn't realize
Dude,
how
I'm
accurate
at the
that
king.
name was.
I don't know if you know this.
Yeah, and that's the name of it in Cyrillic, which is amazing. I looked up Mongolian. Mongolian's written in Cyrillic.
It is because they're a Soviet style though.
Yeah.
I was in Mongolia.
It was like-
and all of the cars were Soviet.
But like, you know, like I've already told you, like the modern Dwarven is written in Cyrillic, and that Dwarven is an offshoot of Orcish, or Orcish is an offshoot of Dwarven.
Mhm.
And I was like, all this, I intended, like Orcish culture to be a mirror of Mongolian culture, and I had no idea that Mongolians wrote in Cyrillic.
It all worked out.
What a fun world we live in.
The way she languages.
It's so. It all just works together.
Darga Daryl.
Okay.
Gerald's chilling. Bored?
Walking.
All right.
Huh?
So
Spotting traps.
somebody
Mhm.
lead the party north.
I think it's gotta be Board. You better try that.
Yeah, it's gotta be Port.
Board or Yanni, it's one of y'all two.
Can I get Yanni up front with me?
I mean,
I
at this point, if you don't have any knowledge, or if you don't have any survival skill, it's just a wisdom check.
so I have nothing in survival, but I do have a +4 wisdom. So I mean, I guess that's good enough. I say, let's go this way. It must be north. It feels colder, and off we go.
I mean, Uhtred's not the wisest of you. Yanni is.
His intelligence says skill. He's better at.
Yeah, he's.
Is there any chance we want me to check out ahead, fly invisible if we're getting close? Or
I don't know. I think just
Now,
That's fine.
there's also, I mean, considering that this is taking days and days, there are definitely spells that you could cast that would help in this. With Paragon Circle.
Right, I was gonna say, Dakuda, who's smarter than me, would know that this spell would be great to cast. And it is.
It's all that.
Well, and you.
Right? There's
Dragon Finder.
well, no, I've got to locate object. I don't have to locate person or whatever. But I think he's talking more of I wouldn't say pass without a trace or something, but something that's difficult train's not a problem. Or,
What's the you can cast 5th level spells, right?
No direction, find the path. Those are two good spells.
I just don't remember. Is Find the Path? Can you say Find the Path a spell that you can cast this level?
Find the path is a 6th level. No direction, I think, is 4th. No direction is a 0 level spell. Cantripio. So if he says it's north, you know which way north is.
You think.
Yeah, I mean, Board, I think about like the city guy. How
Yeah.
to survive.
Yeah.
The city dude. I'm not like out here scrounging.
You're more of a stealth guy than a survival guy.
And I function well in an urban environment. That's my shit. I'm not out looking for north.
I know.
Yeah.
Are there any birds about?
Yes.
I would like to commune with birds to Paragon Surge.
Yes.
Okay.
Bird surge.
Heart!
Dude, you are hearting right now.
Huh?
Captain Planet, you're the heart ring. You're talking to animals with Sanji.
The borderline not okay.
Okay.
I was a big fan of growing up with John.
oh yeah.
That was great. Dude. Yeah, it's good.
All right. So you cast Commune with Birds. After a couple seconds, a crow comes flying down and
Good call.
lands lands on a branch, maybe like 10 feet above you, and cocks its head at you. It's like,
That means have you seen a dragon? How long does this last?
He responds to you with cause, but you understand them in common.
Mhm.
And he says, your pronunciation is horrible.
Sorry.
Please just speak common. I can
Oh.
understand you.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Have you seen a black dragon? First off.
I have not seen any black dragon.
Is there an particularly spooky part of the woods or the swamp? Something odd
North
that
of
stands
here,
out.
north of here at the base of the mountain.
Can we see the mountain from where we are? If I pop up?
If you pop up, if it's clear, maybe. You're probably a good 10, 12 miles away from the mountains.
Okay. Are
At
there
least.
any dangerous creatures in between here and there that you know of?
Between here and there, not so much. Once you get there, absolutely.
What is there?
Well, I mean, I stay away, but rumor is there's little lizard men. They'll shoot and kill birds to eat them. I heard there's probably some other stuff down there too, but I'm not stupid. I don't go up there.
Very good.
Once you get close to the ruins, you'll see the fog. And once you have that lack of visibility, I mean, it could be that it's just foggy that morning or whatever, but when you reach the impenetrable fog, the fog that never lifts, you're there.
You got a piece of jerky or something?
I pull out a kebab and a waffle.
That kind of kebab. Just like
Yeah.
one. We appreciate it.
He tries to catch it at fall and flies down, picks it up. All right.
Thank you. Any more questions?
I think it's good. You befriended a crow. It's a solid move for the party.
Big come up.
It's a big gift for us.
Takudo, which way?
North. Still north. Towards the mountain at the base, there's some ruins and the impenetrable fog. Sounds like kobolds around there. I also say to him, you're a pretty nice crow. You want to hang?
I did this once before. You got me for like another 5 minutes.
Same crow.
What'd you say again? I
I
did.
said, I've done this once before. You've got me for another 5 minutes.
You did this once before for who?
Work.
Orc. Interesting. What did this orc look like? Huh?
Fucking Gara.
Like an orc? It's one of the druids or whatever from Lund.
How long ago?
A year ago?
Oh shit! Fuck that druid.
I'm pretty sure it's the druid.
He was asking me what like the weather was gonna come in, and I mean like standard shit. He wasn't asking me about dragons.
So how's the weather going to be?
Fucking cold. I mean, the swamp usually stays surprisingly warm. Like it never completely freezes over. Like some of the stuff above the water line gets frost and freezes. But I mean, it's weird. It's not right, but stuff to eat here, it's survivable. So
You guys have any questions for the crow?
Let's go north.
Yeah, let's go north. I have no questions.
I can give you some more meat if you lead us north until you feel like doing so no more.
yeah, okay.
One more kebab. I hold it out this time so it doesn't drop.
He lands on your hand and pulls the piece of meat off the end of the skewer.
Let's go. Follow
Let's do it.
And he.
Do you have a name?
You can't pronounce it.
Oh, I'm pretty good at crow.
No, you're not.
Take your word for that. Okay, lead away.
So he flies north, goes from branch to branch, turns around. After like another 2 minutes, he stops talking to you. He starts calling at you. And yeah, it takes about another day. So like another night of rest, another, camp and get up in the morning and go ahead. But, he sticks around, hangs out. You get a strong impression that he wants more.
Yeah, I keep
more
moving.
food. But yeah, about, so this was, so you guys arrived at the swamp on the 19th, 20th. So this is about midday on the 21st. You guys get to where you see this sort of ahead of you, this rolling fog is kind of settling in. And everyone give me perception checks.
You're still talking.
Natural 1. 2 in a row, baby.
Jeez.
How do you like that?
16.
I got a 20.
19.
17 on the die, baby.
I just kept thinking that.
I got a 28.
Yeah, what was that?
17.
That's not 15.
Oh,
Okay. So Yanni, you're the first to spot. They're kind of off to the side of this path. There is some piles of stone that look like they've been cut, they've been formed. Not recently, pretty fucking old.
How far away from those are we?
It seems to be just at the edge of where the fog really starts to set in. So maybe 10, 20 feet into the fog, where you can just kind of make out, everybody else might have seen it, but they disregard it as more of like a stump or something. But you're like, no, that's rock. So it's 60 feet ahead where you start to see the fog, and then another 20 feet into the fog where you're seeing this silhouette that you're recognizing as worked stone and not a natural feature.
Okay. I would relay that. Is this work stone structure, is it big enough for a lizard-like humanoid to maybe hide behind?
this is probably the ruins.
Yeah, probably.
I would also say, that being, be cautious of kobolds.
Okay.
Everybody get your war paint on.
Okay. I used my bauble to cast mage armor on myself.
Okay.
I have mage armor up. I want to, he points it out, said these might be the ruins he was talking about, and like to look with detect magic.
Okay.
Dakota, could I get some mage armor as well?
I give him some
Pretty
mage armor.
please.
I do.
And I feel invincible now.
You are.
No, I'm fine, but we want that.
Yes. Hop right in on that shit.
You know what's funny? In a deciduous, I just looked it up. I was thinking about this, but it's too late now. In a deciduous forest, I can travel 6 miles each minute.
Okay.
Oh,
Why does it matter what kind of tree it is?
Elevation.
Because different trees, an oak, an ash, or a yew, I can travel 3,000 feet per round.
Okay. So, you guys kind of get yourself prepared, and who's somebody moving into take a look here? What were we
I'll go
saying?
check it out.
How far away is it?
So,
I'll go.
80 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I'll
could get
go
over there
to,
quick as shit.
Okay.
let's do Yanni, me, and Dakota. We got a stone guy, we got a magic guy, we got a punching guy.
Okay. So Dakota, you said you detect magic, and you are detecting sort of a faint, low level of magic just kind of permeating the area.
The
It's just
ruins
like-
are like the fog. Yes.
Everything. Like just it's like when you cast it, just everything changes the color by the tiniest hue.
Do I recognize this as residual, like old residual, or like it's active?
It's so faint it's hard to really pull any sort of specific signature to it. You just recognize that this area is suffused with latent magic energy.
This place is fused with latent magic energy.
Shut up. I grabbed the rock and using stone kind of figure anything out. Also, I came out of the rock.
And I'm not up there yet, right? There was an away team and a party that's kind of back.
Yeah. I think it's-
Give me this would be knowledge history.
Okay.
Yanni, you're there too if you want to give a knowledge history.
So I get like a plus.
Sure.
With my stone cut.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Nice. 28.
A 31 total for me.
Damn.
I'm good at rocks. Rocks.
Okay. So Yanni, you're getting the basic concept of pretty ancient dwarven stonework. But Mirok, you're recognizing that this is a sort of a inspired by dwarven, but it is not dwarven stonework. So like what it's not, this is ancient and weathered and old. Getting anything specific off of it is nearly impossible, but just by the shapes and the design, Yanni is seeing, oh, that looks like old dwarven stonework, and you're like, if dwarves were doing it, they would have taken the time to make this perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah.
And this is off by a little bit.
Yeah.
Not off enough that it's going to affect the what have you. I'm gonna try to end this at 10. So I don't know if you want to pull another beer right now. We got like another.
So I would look at Dakota.
You can slam a beer.
Magic. While this does seem dwarven, it is actually a petite homage to dwarven architectural styles, but it is quite ancient. Also trying to sound very douchey and knowledgeable.
So it's orcish.
I really expected Murdoch to say no, dumbass. No dwarf would make this.
Yeah, it's like someone studied dwarven architecture and tried to replicate it.
How heavy is the fog right now?
In the fog, your visibility is limited to about 30 feet.
Okay. When it gets very, very low visibility, I would cast Trail of the Rose.
I'd like to pop up out of the fog if I can, if it's enough, and see how far we are from the base of the mountain.
Okay. All right, so you fly up, and you climb and you climb and you climb, and you can just see like the fog is resting very heavily in the area before you to the north, and to the south, it's it's dreary, it's cold. And the thing is, once you're above the tree line, it's fucking cold. Like it's like a 45, 50 degrees pretty consistently in the swamp, but you get above the tree line and it's mid-January. It's fucking cold. And you can kind of see this rolling gray mist kind of permeating in just the tops of these gnarled, very swamp, blackened trees, the, leafless poking up above this fog layer. And then past that, you can see the foot of the mountain, maybe 2 or 3 miles away. But looking down forward, you see just this sea of fog, and you're not sure, like, it's big.
Does it go pretty far left and right of us? Do we seem like we're in the middle of it, or?
Maybe you're a little bit to the east side. Like, it seems to stretch a little further west than it stretches east.
Okay, I come down and relay that, and being off just a little bit if it matters. About a mile or 2 to the base of the mountain.
Well, if we,
So
believe whatever that crow said, we need to get to the base, right? That's where it's the worst.
believe so. Are we all up there now?
At the
To the
stone.
ruins?
I think so, yeah.
I'd like to look around and search the ruins a little bit, see if we find any writing or anything.
I think Godric's gonna start focusing on his detect evil. See if he can see, like, if that pinpoint anything.
Okay.
Or
Godric, you cast Detect Evil, and you get a sense,
What's
something similar to what you sensed before, back when there was that sort of permeating, vague veil of evil, when you and Uhtred, Mirok, and Fui went and investigated why the animals couldn't sleep while you were traveling from Kyla to Penrose. And you met the Dryad and everything, but there was like this evil presence kind of hanging over the forest, and you get a very similar sensation to that. It's faint, it's not distinct, but it permeates everything.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep that up.
All right. So are you guys heading
Due north.
due north?
I think the good one is check out the ruin a little bit.
I want to look at it just a little bit as we're passing through. I mean, I could catch up.
The ruin is maybe a 4 or 5 foot tall pile of rocks.
Oh, it's
Okay.
not expensive. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like it's not anything. It's the very first edge of what you're about to see as you approach, and you get within 30 feet. There is a 40 or 50 foot tall outer wall to what appears to be the ruins of an ancient city.
Ooh, that's very cool. Mela. Dakota, up here.
And at this point, Mirok, you can see that yes, this was learned or designed based on dwarven architecture, but the iconography is based off of Orcish. So the building bones and concept are
We're just disgusted by
are
this.
based on dwarven, but the symbology, the iconography suggests an ancient orc culture, which
I'm
is
immediately jumping to like an ancient aliens point of view where I'm just like, it's incredible that this was here. There's no way orcs could have built it. I'm completely discounting all Orcus culture.
well. Give me a perception check.
Very bad, none.
Uh,
I will use 3 of my action dice.
all right, sure.
3d6.
3d8.
3d8. This is onto that. 6. And another 12. So that's going to be a total of 21.
So with a total of 21, you are kind of like walking along this wall, following the iconography, and you get to a mosaic that does depict a sort of hierarchy system. At the top there are the largest figures, and then there's a set of smaller figures and a set of smaller figures, and a set of smaller figures. And at the top, the iconography appears to be something. It has the tusks of a half-orc, and the facial features, but the posture is too upright. The posture is too human. Directly below that, the second largest figures are more consistent orc-like, with the hunch posture, with the extremely broad thing. And that comparison suggests to you that the top iconography is half-orc.
Mhm.
And then beneath that is a depiction, and the orcs, the half-orcs seem to be dressed in finery. They're designed as nobles. The orcs, the orcs are carrying weapons and shields and armor. And then under that, there's humans in loincloths carrying tools. And under that, you see dwarves and elves, like basically dead or crawling, in extremely subservient and denigrating positions.
This is fascinating.
The half-orcs, huh? It's like the orcish Anunnaki.
Yeah, you get the impression
You're coming.
this is an ancient civilization which the half-orcs ruled as nobles. The orcs were a warrior caste, and then humans were slaves, and
Is there like
dwarves and elves were less than slaves.
is there anything legible, or is it all pictograms?
It's all pictograms.
Okay, makes sense. They're very dumb.
So the half-orc.
you see this mosaic, and it's next to an archway where whatever was on the other side of the archway has collapsed in and closed off the entry point here. But it looks like there's, this was sort of like an image to show this is how this city works. This is where you're going into.
So the half-orc on top isn't wearing a turban? Sorry.
It's a half-orc man and a half-orc woman facing each other holding hands. Under that is a bunch of full-blooded orcs wearing armor, carrying weapons, and then humans and loincloths carrying tools and bags and stuff like that. And then under that, dwarves and elves in chains on their hands and knees.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I want to. There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
But yes, you have arrived at Yalagar, and the next leg of their journey is going to be exploring this ancient ruin and trying to find the lair of the Black Dragon.
Shit. It might be really good to bring Garrock here. So Garrock see that and be like, holy shit, there's my boss at the top of this pyramid.
Get me. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Be like, Garrock, we killed a dragon. Look at it.